Okay, now it's thinking about it. So I have to go over to our soon screen and mute you folks. All right, and it looks like we are live. Okay, we got one other person joining us really fast to sort of jump in the game. But hey, everybody, we are going to play another episode of Killers of the King. So this is a collection of one-shot adventures. Each episode of the Killers of the King is a self-contained adventure. You're going to get a full story. But if you decide to watch all the episodes together, it tells a wider story. So let's just go ahead and real fast and have our players introduce themselves. Tatiana, go ahead.
All right. Hi, I'm Tatiana Volk, the GM Witch here on YouTube, and I'm going to be playing Lilia today.
All right. And I'm Jordan Valentine, and I'm playing Oran, the Shade Elf Battlemaster.
Hi, my name is Andrew. I'll be playing Bleeze of Brackenfield.
All right, and we have Andrew playing Blaze of Brackenfield. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to do a quick introduction scene, and then I'll give you guys a chance to sort of introduce your characters a little bit more deeply, okay? You ready to jump into this?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. All right, hopefully YouTube will go ahead and tell me if something's not completely perfect with everyone's audio and visual and everything, but as far as I'm concerned, let's go ahead and jump right in. All right, so the king is dead. 3 years ago, a cult called the Gnostics, who claimed to know the secret truth of the White Church, led a civil war and revolt. They took over the capital city of Mare-Lorraine, and not only did they temporarily overthrow the White Church, but also the royal house that supported it. They captured the king and cut off his head. After a second civil war, the queen was restored to the throne, and she wants revenge. So now you, our group of bounty hunters, are going out and capturing the regicides and bringing them to justice. Early on, being started out as a bunch of nobodies. People who are on the wrong side of the tracks or at the worst end of that civil war, but gradually you've built your way up. You've already managed to capture one of the king's guard at the prison who was on the scaffold. You tracked him down by a bloody handkerchief used to mop up the king's blood as a souvenir. You managed to capture Silas the Quick, who was financing the rebellion. He had a fake mint that was producing counterfeit coins that gave the Gnostics power over money. But then things started to go downhill. You had some downfalls recently, too. You tried to capture this man named Oki, who you thought was the lead propagandist, and it turns out he was actually working on the inside the whole time. And while you're trying to capture him, the general of the entire Gnostic rebellion, a man named Axtil, showed up. They summoned a dread angel, and then they all got away. Orion, maybe this is the beast that you were been hunted to you've been prophesied to track down and kill, but you've had no luck seeing it. And you're all terrified with the knowledge that this cult controls an angel who seems to be bent on their will. And then worse still, you've been compromised several times. You've been going on missions and found out they were nothing but traps. And then finally you managed to track down what might have been the source of these leaks, the mole, and you tracked her down to her lair, her workshop. You went into a painting to try to capture her in a fantasy world, but she escaped. You were tricked by a doppelganger. So things are looking down for your group. The Gnostics seem to be gathering strength too. Walking around the capital of Mare Lorraine, you see plastered signs up there questioning the power of the White Church. Why don't they heal the dead anymore? Where did all their power come from? Did the Queen start the rebellion to begin with? All sorts of things making you question the faith. You find yourselves in the office of the Sergeant of the Senate. You've been here a few times before, and the man before you, Alexander Louis, is the biggest man you've ever seen. He's twice as broad as a normal person. He's, on the wrong side of 50, but still maybe even a quarter ounce of fat on his body. You would be terrified of him, but he loves you. He has the biggest smile. He picks you up for hugs. He makes sure there's always lemons for Kandakar. He makes sure that there's always fresh towels out for Millicent. All sorts of things to make sure that you folks are really well and cared for. So Alexander Louis, he invites you into his office in the Senate barracks. There is a sparse quarter table, a neatly made bed, and he begs you to all sit down. And his normally boyish, almost joyful face is suddenly grim. You guys have been bad, and I have more bad news. He sort of tells you, especially for you. I know Blaze, this is not something that you want to hear at all. He tells you with this almost melodramatic bit of information that, well, it starts out, maybe there is good news, that there's a hint. They found a man. Ooh, we have another player showing up. Dama is about to join in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
Excellent. Woohoo. No, Alexander Louis, dude. So what Alexander Louis says that there's, good news, but then really, really bad news. The good news is they have found Jack Hood, who is the lawyer who prosecuted the king before his execution. They put him on a sham trial before a jury of cultists and found him guilty of crimes against nature. Jack Hood made up all sort of fantastic legal arguments, ecclesiastical claim, and you even managed to capture one of his journals on a previous mission. And along with Jack Hood, Alexander will tell you, they spotted another man. There says, and the other man was carrying a bright axe. An axe that glows, the same one used to cut off the king's head. Alexander Louis says, well, that's the good news, that 2 regicides have been spotted. Potentially, the lawyer, we know for sure, and one who we suspect is the executioner. He wore a hood, the coward, he says dismissively, but walking around with an axe that glows, he's pretty sure it's the same person. He says the bad news is a hunting party that discovered these people. A hunting party on the far side of the world. One of the Queen's realms beyond the seas in a place called Bloodrum. This is too far away. If we tried to leave the city by boat, they would surely get wind of it. After all, their intelligence officer escaped, he says, kind of sad. And then maybe some of you folks also feel bad about that. Being, you let her escape last time. But Blaze, this is going to be the unkindest cut of all, Alexander Louise says to you. There is a way we can get to this island. There happens to be a fancy bathhouse that has a portal to the tropics. All you have to do is step through and you'll be with one island away. But the bathhouse is owned by one named Aqueous Archstone. He is the person who now owns Blaze's family land.
Oh dear.
All right.
I breathe heavily as I am.
So let's go ahead and
angrily.
introduce your characters. Yeah, Blaze, how does that make you feel? With your character's backstory, knowing that this person is the one in control of your family's land, but is also the key to capturing a regicide, how are you feeling?
Very pissed. Melodramatic, to say the least.
Melodramatic, to say the least. All right, Jordan, how does this make you feel? Go ahead. How's your character related to Blaze?
I have basically done some bodyguarding for Blaze, and we've worked together. He's been his money's been good so far. So, we've become acquainted and stuck together. And you know what? This sounds like a big deal. This sounds like the one. This is the chance we've been looking for.
This might be the chance to get back up on top after what's been a rough patch for sure.
One chance I get to stab him's throat.
Let's make it count.
So, Tatiana, you're a clan of otter folk, right? Lily is a part of a clan of otter folk?
Yes.
Yeah.
We are part of the otter folk, and Blaze, and I also believe Orion.
Orion.
They both came to me, or to my little, I guess, village, my home, when everything was going on, and they kind of helped fight against the Gnostics. So I have a connection, and I'm pretty close with Blaze, so this is pretty sad for me to hear.
Yeah, the river that ran from your home runs right into the city and into the bathhouse now, where this dude owns it.
Rough. Oh dear. Oh dear.
Oh dear. Oh dear. So that is the bad news. Alexandra Louise says, he said, I wish I could give you something better, but alas, given the recent events, it's the best they can do. So,
You've given me all I need.
He says, when you get there through the tropics, there'll be a boat waiting for you. Ask for a man named Jim. Ask for a dwarf named Jim. All right. So you leave the barracks in the company of Alexander Louis, and you walk out into the night. Again, you guys are gonna feel maybe prickles in the back of your neck. You've been ambushed several times. There are definitely still Gnostics roaming about, and you can't tell who is who. You've definitely been accosted by cultists one too many times before. And even now you see a sign slapped up saying, think hard. Saying, who does the white church really represent? Graffiti that, people go around and the guards quickly scribble off, but it's always present and a reminder of the cult's growing power again.
I want to hold on to my bow, just have it out, just in case.
I'm bundled up, smoking.
So Andrew goes ahead and Blaze takes a big draw on his cigar, and the fragrant tobacco sort of whiffs across the night air. So you approach the entrance to the bathhouse. It's night. It's a nicely appointed building at the lower part of the city. Again, you can see the river that Lilia's family has swam in so many times, slowly drifting into the backside of this building. And outside, you see a man standing there. And Blaze, you recognize him as Aqueous Arkstone. And he's sort of the opposite of you in many ways. Your once splendid robes are now threadbare and tattered. His are resplendent. You sort of have this stench of cigar smoke on you all the time. He is well perfumed. And, you run your head maybe subconsciously over your slick hair. There's nothing there. Your head is bald. And, he's probably hiding a glorious fro, and he just sort of keeps it wrapped up under a turban. Doesn't even care about it. So he stands there looking at you. He was expecting some adventurers to show up, and he sees you walking up. He doesn't smile, but he does blink very slowly and deliberately. Who's going to introduce the party?
I just stand there, smoking.
I'm going to look expectantly at Blaze.
So after a minute's silence, he sort of steps forward, and again he speaks slowly and deliberately. He asks if you are the ones who have shown up and are going to go to the portal to paradise.
Yes, that is us.
Willingly.
Yes, that is us.
You are Jim?
He's not Jim. He says that on the other side of the portal, you will find a sailor named Jim. It's no coincidence, Aquarius will tell you, that he's the one who found all these people. That his bathhouse is one full of luxury, and it's not for the riffraff. Very few the chance to go in and experience what he can provide. So when you go in there, try not to make a mess of things.
I blow smoke.
All right.
Okay.
So his eyes sort of narrow at you, Blaze. Do you like blowing it in his face?
I blow it near him. I'm not that rude. I still have some respect.
All right. So he opens the door and leads you inside his bathhouse, and it is very well appointed in here. The tiles are shiny. The porcelain is well polished. The floor is even slightly warm against your feet, as though it's heated.
Beforehand, I decided to give him honor. I stopped my cigar while we enter. Grimacingly.
So he eyes you, Blaze, and then for a minute he sort of considers you, and then remarks that he is glad that you're not too bitter.
You remind me of a man I used to be.
I feel like Lily is probably like, what's that supposed to mean?
He looks at you quizzically for a second, and then again speaks very slowly, as though he's choosing his words with extreme care. He points out that he is well aware that his family has been gifted the lands that were once Blaze's. And he is
Yeah.
happy that there seems to be no lingering resentment.
Ah, well, if you put it that way, then I guess it's okay.
All right.
Definitely no resentment.
Is that track with you, Blaze? Is there really no resentment?
I harbor no resentment to the people of the future, just those that have wronged me in the past.
He nods in agreement, and he proclaims that, the manor and holdings that were once yours were never really yours to begin with. They were only your family's by the grace of the Queen, and she has seen fit to give it to him now. But he nods and says that it can be difficult to let go of the past sometimes, too. Dom.
I try and pull smoke and realize I've blown it out. I put it in my several coats.
All right, so Dom, you're playing Millicent, right?
Yes, I've just been frantically getting the character sheet together.
All right, so Millicent was the archivist for Blaze's family, sort of the keeper of the history and records. So how is this conversation making you feel?
I think, Millicent feels she doesn't like this guy. As far as she's concerned, Blaze, he was from a long. I'm right in thinking he's from a long line of aristocracy, of nobility, and for all that to be taken away from him, despite the fact he fought for the Queen in 2 civil wars. She's I think she's got a real stink face on, arms crossed, kind of. She's not happy with this guy and the way he's talking. I don't think she vocalizes it, but she's definitely got like a face on, like staring daggers at him.
Okay. So he notices how upset you are, right?
Sort of things.
Mm-hmm. And he's sort of he's gonna try to make an effort to sort of smooth things over by mentioning that he has suffered too, that not everyone has suffered something in the war. Everyone's losses are different in some ways.
And what did you lose?
So this whole time, he's trying to keep his demeanor and speaking very deliberately, but at that moment his eyes sort of narrow, and he replies sharply and quickly that he's lost his whole family. And he will straight up say, but not even righteously, as he looks at Blaze. You may be stripped of your titles, but my family was stripped of their honor. He tells you that his father was a Gnostic, fell in the cult and was killed sacking the city. And he hasn't spoken to his brother.
Him.
His brother's disappeared.
Blaze eyes squint as he knows his family was lost from the Gnostic purge.
Yeah.
And so Millicent sort of, he's still maybe softened slightly, but still looking quite annoyed, goes, and so why did the Queen see it fit to award all this to you then, if your family is full of evil Gnostics?
And so at this, he looks really, really heavy, and points to Blaze and to you three and says, "While you lost the battle to maintain your home, I won it." And he says he didn't win it, with a sword. He didn't win it with a spear, but he won it with gold. And he won it with his mind. And he points us around the bathhouse. And he says, when people are here, they're relaxed. He will tell you that often tongues will slip. And he provided the information that was needed to retake the land up the river. Because after all, he had an interest in it too. And for that, he was rewarded. And then again, he sort of looks sad. But the cost might have been too great. What's land if you don't have family? He sort of looks at you, Blaze. You're the last member of your household, right?
What's family without honor?
Yeah. So again, he sort of, as you guys are walking, you're going further and further into the bathhouse, passing, statues of, people pouring water, maybe some erotic mosaics on part of the wall. And eventually you get to the place where the steam's like pouring out from underneath this wooden door. The door's like swollen practically with steam.
Was it like this when you lived here, Blaze?
No.
Too bad.
Yes.
I'm terribly sorry. I was reorganizing my archive. I've kind of lost why we're here.
So who wants to recap for him?
There is a secret portal here that will take us to a place where we think the headman who actually killed the king is, and somebody else as well.
Yeah,
another major player.
Yeah, someone who has a glowing axe but was hooded, so we don't know exactly what they look like, and we're looking for the place called Blood Room. That's you find through the portal.
Yes. So, he leads you to the very bottom of the bathhouse, and before he opens the door to the room beyond, he does give you maybe one bit of a warning. He'll say, well, the reason I told you to come at night is, unfortunately, the way the portal works is that there's a thinness in the plains sometimes between areas of purest water. And it seems, well, a water elemental is trying to make this bath its home now. So if you can clean that out, the portal will be easier to pass through.
Blaze is apprehensive of this.
Yeah. Well, Quaeus, he sort of nods his head curtly and bids you adieu and just walks away.
Do not worry, Blaze. I have experience with some of these water elementals. Back where I am from growing up, swimming with my, neighbors and siblings and cousins, sometimes we would feel a warmth in the water, which is really the most harm that they can do. They always said that those were water elementals.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they did.
All right. So hold on real fast. So we have a quick description from dScryb. A curtain of fragrant steam hangs heavy in the air, mingling of sharp incense, flowery potpourri, and rich oils. Candles in a single high window, allowing in a shaft of moonlight, provide the only illumination. The dim chamber contains baths of all shapes and sizes, catering to those with coin to spare. So there we go. There's our little description of the scene beyond the door. There's about 3 or 4 different pools in this room, and on the far side there are these large metal, like cauldrons almost, with glowing blue gems on top that seem to be sputtering. At the bottom of them there are vents that are pouring out steam, making this whole room thick and heavy.
So it's pretty dark in here.
Yes.
Does Orion have dark vision? I don't see it actually listed on his sheet.
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, I can also cast Dancing Lights as a cantrip, just to kind of give us a little bit of extra light in the room. So I'll create several colorful lights and spread them around the room.
All right, so as you do that, the light sort of bounces off the shimmering pools, and you see one pool seems to be emitting light itself. The one on the far side, nearest the 2 steaming cauldrons, seems to have a light emitting from the underside of it.
I'll stand back from that, just in case.
I'm going to take a look.
So walking up to the pool, it seems to be deeper than you can possibly imagine. In fact, as you look down into it, you see the shimmering light is actually coming from a beach that you can see. Like you looks like you almost like looking through a window onto a golden white sands.
Oh.
I'm apprehensive of the water, but the sand is pretty.
Oh, is this the portal? Should we just go through? Perhaps the elemental isn't around.
I don't think so. We may go through, but I think that would cause it to arrive to follow us.
Should I potentially cast detect magic and see what, if anything, pops up?
You can see it around. Here is obvious.
There's a lot of water for it to hide in, I suppose.
That is a
Shouldn't
good
be
point.
far. I'd say look around, yes.
So yeah, I'll cast detect magic, just using a spell slot.
Okay, so you spend a first level spell slot to cast detect magic.
Yeah.
Poof. And so some things are immediately highlighted. Sort of outlined, the pool in front of you radiates a bright pink of conjuration magic. Poof, 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 poof. So too do the other cauldrons, the sort of steaming vats that have steam pouring out of the bottom of them with the bluing gems. Those also radiate conjuration magic. And then all around you see little hints of prestidigitation from the candles and the scenting.
Right. Well, as an archivist, I can tell you that there's magic around.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. So everybody has a catchphrase on their character sheet, and when you say your catchphrase, you get inspiration. And you can only have one inspiration at a time, so you might as well say your catchphrase, get the inspiration, use it, and then say the catchphrase again. All right. So there are 3 shallow pools around, and then the one deep pool that seems to be radiating the light, and the 2 boilers.
I mean, should we just go for a swim? Or do we need to check out these cauldrons first?
Well, you can check out the cauldrons if you'd like. Let's see if you like it hot.
Ding! There you go. All right, so walking over to the cauldrons, they are about 5 feet tall. They are on little legs that stand off of the ground. So the steam is coming off right about at your knee level. At the top of them, there is a giant glassy blue. It's not really a gemstone. It's probably just a blue piece of glass that seems to radiate a soft blue light. And then putting your ear up to it, you can hear like a soft rattling inside the cauldron vat.
I follow behind him. Can I make it any hotter? I have a cantrip for control flame.
So if you want to make like a little fire underneath the cauldron, just try to heat it up.
Try to heat it up and produce more steam.
So you try to heat it up, but you don't really notice a lot of any more steam really coming out. So yeah, the amount of steam does not seem to change by your controlling the flame underneath it.
Here's things are more controlled here than I thought.
This steam's definitely not good for the old portable archive. I say we make a move, jump in this pool, or I don't know.
Yeah. Before we go, I want to knock on the cauldron, since something's rattling around in there.
So when you knock, the rattling gets a little bit more intense for a second.
I'll say hello in Elvish.
So nothing replies.
I'll say
I'm
hello
gonna
in
cast-
Goblin.
Again, nothing replies.
I don't think it's anything that can understand speech. At least nothing that you can speak.
Tip it out.
What's Lilia doing? Like how your otter sense is treating you?
I'm not sure. I was kind of waiting for the right opportunity to use my wear shape. Currently, she's still in her halfling form, so she's just kind of just like, this place is interesting. Like looking around, just like, I haven't seen something like this before.
Yeah, it's fascinating what the waters from your river end up doing, right?
Yeah, would have never guessed it. No, in all honesty, I think she's just kind of looking around the bathhouse, like just interested, just like, what's this? Like, and it comes out here, and okay, well,
all right. So the night is drawing on.
Well, it appears that the elemental will not make its appearance. I suppose we shan't waste any more time. I make my way to the portal.
All right, so the portal is in the pool. Like you have to probably like swim like 10 feet down and then probably like 10 feet up, you'd think, just by like the look of it.
Anyone want to go? I say hesitantly.
I'll go. Or
I think this is a good idea, but we otter folk have a saying, don't drown in water.
Ding.
That would be wise.
worst things you can drown in.
Before we go, I'll just make sure everyone's got a. I feel before anyone goes for a swim or any adventure, they need a rune, to make sure that they're fully sorted. So Lilia, I'm going to give you this, and I'll get out from my portable archive a sheet with a rune on it, and then I kind of project it onto you, and you get the gravity rune. Which means I can do cool stuff for you, and I forgot what else it gives. I'll have a look at that. I'll tell you in a sec. And Blaze, I'm giving you the rune of vision, which gives you dark vision. And Orion, I'm giving you the rune of power, which means you can do force damage on your bow. Is Jordan? Sorry, are you playing Orion?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Thank you.
I guess I will probably take this opportunity to wear shape. Probably a better swimmer.
All right.
That way.
Whoosh. So you Hulk out. Boom. All right.
I want to take a scimitar before nobody's in the pool yet, right?
Nope, you're all just standing there looking at it.
Okay,
I'm standing a few feet behind, but back away from it because I do not want to get in yet.
Almost like you all know there's a trap there.
I'm going to take my scimitar and plunge it into the pool.
All right, so you plunge it down to the surface, and your scimitar probably gets down like 3 feet, and you can stir it around. Nothing much happens.
Okay.
You just
looks like it's
swirl the
safe.
water.
That confirms it.
I shake it off and put it back.
Oh, I guess can I talk when I'm in my wear form?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
but you sound much more intimidating.
That confirms it. Wait.
All right, so you're standing there, the wet sword looking down in the pool, and the rattling of the vents behind you.
Maybe the otter should go first.
All right,
Up
jump
to you.
in.
All right, so with Blaze looking on, maybe apprehensively, the otter folk takes the dive in. And so you swim down like the first 4 feet, no problem. You take your second big arm length to get right 10 feet down, and all of a sudden you feel like you can't move. You feel like the water is grabbing onto you. You feel like pressure and constriction. Go ahead and make a DC 15 strength saving throw.
It's not. This is a save.
Yes.
Ten.
10. No. So the water crushes on you. You take 13 points of bludgeoning damage, and you're also grappled. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
All right.
20. Not 20.
All right. 20 for Blaze.
Ooh, where's my initiative?
I got
Aye.
a 9.
I got an 18. Could have used that a second ago.
18 for Lily. Who got the 9?
Me. Or Anne.
Or Ray.
And I got a 5.
All right. So, Blaze, as you're standing there, as the otter folk swims down, she takes her second breath, her second stroke, and suddenly she can't move. She starts twisting back and forth. And after a second, you realize that's not how otter folks are supposed to swim. What are you gonna
Our
do?
folks are a lot better at swimming than I am, but I feel like she is not moving. How far is she down?
She's about 10 feet down in the water.
Okay. I am going to cast shield from my first level shot. And I get a +5 bonus to my AC until the start of my next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I take a deep breath and I dive in. Hesitantly.
Awesome.
And I dive in. And go for her.
Fantastic. All right, so you're now slightly down underneath the water. You can see the glowing beach maybe 20 feet in front of you, but blocking your vision is this otter folk stuck and struggling in the water, completely restrained. Lilia, you are restrained by this water elemental. You can't seem to move. What are you going to try to do to fight back?
Can I claw at the water?
Yes, you
Doubt that's gonna work.
You can try to claw your way through it. You can find some especially thick parts. And as you're twisting and turning and trying to figure out where's the best place to claw at to, it finally sort of takes shape in front of you.
Whee.
Awesome. The waves surge, rising with the roar, comes crashing down in the whirlwind around you. The water rushes in all directions, filling this little tiny space, and then crushing back down in an instant. It rises up again, inexplicably. The wave looms upwards, strange and natural movement brings it to its full height, and crashes right back down on top of you. No description by dScryb. So go ahead and make an attack roll with disadvantage because you are restrained.
Okay. A 20 and a 2.
No, so you are completely at odds. You're not used to not being able to move in water, and maybe a panic is rushing over your mind, making you unable to hit. You got a second attack though, right?
Oh, that is true because I used my unarmed. Okay. Oh, 2 11s. Where +7, I think. Wait, no. What is it for claws? That is a +7. So 18 to hit.
Yeah, its armor class is only 14. So go ahead and roll for some
Nice.
damage. So you collect your conscious, and you finally find a good place to swipe it across its watery throat.
4, 5, 9? 9 damage.
Oh, good to know. All right. So after your turn, this thing that's sort of surrounding you, it like half takes form in the water, like creating little bubbles. You can sort of see its features before collapsing in again. Now that it has you grapple this turn, it's going to try to it's going to try to reach out of the pool, swim up and grab somebody else and drag them in. So it swims out and it sees Orion, who had just had a scimitar in there. It's going to try to swim up towards you and grab you and pull you into the pool.
Okay.
Go ahead and make a strength saving throw.
11.
So not good enough. You get pulled into the water, and so you go down another can swim 90 feet. So yeah, you go down another 10 feet into the water as Lily is sort of dragging behind you. You guys are like, sort of face to face, unable to move underwater. All right, Orion, now that you're down there, this water elemental, restrained underwater, unable to breathe, unable to move, what are you going to do?
Well, I will, I'll try to attack it near Lilia to try to get her free, if possible. So I want to use my scimitar to try to reach over to her and like slash around her.
Awesome. So you know what? If you want to try to make like a called shot like that, you can go ahead and do it.
Okay. Am I rolling with disadvantage?
Yes, because you are restrained.
Okay. All right. 23.
Yeah.
Is the lowest.
So definitely, yeah. You get a good smack over there over by where you assume like its wrist and arm might be. So go ahead and roll for some damage.
Yeah, so that's 9 slashing damage.
Good. Awesome.
And if she's not free yet, I'd like to continue doing the same thing.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh, a lot worse now. 9 to hit.
No, so the second time this thing sort of like did like a water spin out of the way, and your scimitar like just passed right through a temporary bubble.
I want to communicate with Lilia, but I don't think I can. like I want to try to motion like, get free. Can you get free?
Motion. I'm trying.
All right. Yes, you guys cannot breathe while you were restrained by the water elemental, sadly. All right, so Millicent, you were up at the top of the pool next to Blaze, and you see this. You see your buddies get pulled down in there.
So Millicent is going to. So how deep's the pool? They're about 10 foot down, aren't they?
Yep, they're about 10 feet down.
I think I'm going to manifest gravity.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of kind of above and to the side of a pool, and then erupt it with my second voice, and use a spell slot to make it have a bigger radius. So now all water within 15 feet of this central point will be pulled towards it. Oh, no, actually, sorry, it's just objects that are pulled towards it. So is water an object? Can I kind of like use this gravity rune to suck the water out?
Yeah, totally. That makes sense. You have like a little like funnel, reverse funnel.
Yeah, it's kind of like sucking the water and pulling any creatures towards this thing. However, if the creatures, it says gravity strength save or 10, it'll be pulled to the center of it, and if they hit another creature, it takes 1d6 bludgeoning damage. So it might cause a bit of team kill like damage, but I think it's worth it.
Okay, so it got it passed its save, but still moves a little bit, right? Is that how it works?
No, I think if it doesn't move.
Okay, so here's what happens, right? You cast a gravity rune. There's like the reverse funnel from the pool. All the water gets sucked up there. The water elemental manages to hold on to its two things that's trying to restrain. Water starts pulling out from maybe some of the other pools, little bits of candles, statuettes fly into there too. And importantly, the two cauldron vents, right? They get thump knocked in there. they get dense. Little vents at the bottom, they burst apart, and out comes 2 steam mephits from each of them.
2 what, sorry?
Steam mephits.
Oh, okay.
Like little steam demons.
Steamins.
Yep, steamins.
Oh, dear.
All right, Blaze. You just managed to barely take a step backwards to avoid getting splashed with all this water. You're trying to put it off as long as possible, I imagine. But now you see these 2 angry steam demons flying up in the air ahead of you. And down below in the pool, you see your 2 friends still struggling to get free and unable to breathe. What are you going to do to help them out? You're
You're on
muted.
mute.
Dang it. Can I reach out to any of them?
They are 10 feet down in the water.
They're 10 feet down. I cannot reach them. Okay.
You can probably take a few steps over, though, and get to the steam mephits if you wanted.
How heavy are the mephits? How big are they?
They're medium-sized.
Medium size. Okay, I cannot use mage hand. I am going to step closer. Is there still a lot of water in there?
Yeah, there's still a lot of water in the pool. It seems to be like an infinite amount of water, in fact.
He's very hesitant, but he knows he has to help. So he's going to try and get closer and start to try and reach out to grab whatever is trying to get out.
All right, so your friends are 10 feet down, so you can stick your hand in the water, but it's not going to do much.
Going to roll a d20 against my constitution. I fail. I am going to stand there. I am not ready.
Yeah. So Blaze is temporarily paralyzed with fear. Lilia, you're down there, completely surrounded by this water elemental. What are you gonna do?
Okay.
You see Blaze reach his hand shakingly into the pool, 10 feet away from you.
Okay. So I feel like I only really have my claws. It doesn't seem like anything else really fits.
You can use your action to try to break the grapple if you wanted.
Oh yeah, that is a thing that you do with grappling. Yeah, okay. I'll try to break the grapple.
All right, so go ahead and make a strength athletics check, or dexterity, whichever one you want.
Dexterity. Let's go with that.
All right, dexterity acrobatics.
Right. Okay. You gotta be kidding me. Okay. 14.
Oh, the DC is 14. So unfortunately, you do not manage to break free on your turn. So you stand. Oh, no, you beat the DC. So yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Usually
sorry.
attack beats DC in
Yeah.
defense.
Sorry. Okay. So you go ahead and get out of there, right? So you managed to use your action to break free and blah, 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 swim away.
Okay.
I mean, do you want to
and then
swim away? Or do you
guess-
want to stay right there? I should ask.
Oh, I was gonna try to swim away. I'd like to go towards.
You can go towards the light, towards the sandy beach. You can go back to the bathhouse.
No, I want to go toward. Oh, actually, that's a good idea. But I wanted to go towards Orion. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna
Orion, yeah.
butcher this. Orion. Eventually, so that I can see if I can help him.
Yeah, absolutely. So you swim to like the other side of the elemental and get like right next to where he is.
Yeah, with the intention to see if when I have a chance, if I can pull him down towards the sand area.
Awesome. So you're standing by to give him a helping hand when he needs it.
Correct. Because I imagine, as you know, like as an otter, that I can hold my breath for a little bit longer. So
Yeah.
support.
All right. But the water elemental is not too happy about any of this, right? It likes its new home. It does not like being disturbed, and it's going to take out that fury on Orion. It's gonna lash out with 2 powerful slam attacks. What's your armor class?
16.
All right. For 1 hit and 1 miss. So you take 13 points of bludgeoning damage from the water elemental's slam against you. Boom.
Okay.
All right, Orion, after you feel that crushing blow against your side and face, you sort of like turn cockeyes and you see Lilia right there trying to help you out. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna try to get free as well.
All right, so go ahead and make a DC 14 Strength Athletics or Dex Acrobatics check.
Okay. It's a 9.
No. So like even if she's right there, like her tail and her paws are right there in front of you, you can't manage to break free, unfortunately. All right, Millicent, you're up there. The water funnels down there. You're sort of looking down at the pool. You weren't successful in getting your friends out, but you were successful in freeing these 2 steam demons, which are now cackling madly right in front of your face. One of them looks like it might swoop down and push Blaze into the pool as he's staying there with his hand in it.
Yikes. Okay, so I'm going to try and deal with these steam guys. Let's see. I am going to, I think, do the. I'm gonna manifest the gravity on them to where they are. So that means if they're trying to move away from it, they have to make a strength save or fall prone. If they can be prone, probably can't. And I'm going to try and blind the one that looks like it's going for Blaze.
All right, so this thing's got like a comically large nose, sort of a mischievous grin on its face, and sort of like swooping down. You can try to stop blind it in midair. And it fails its con save.
Right, blinded and dulled. So let's start the next turn.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that'll be for me. Thanks.
All right, Blaze. So completely unbeknownst to you, Millicent just saved your hide. So you're standing there like halfway, like reaching into the pool, and you see Lilia down there trying to help or ran out, and you're standing there hapless. Do you overcome yourself, or do you fight the steam efforts? What's going on?
He, with a 19, will finally break free of his fear and jump in.
All right. So seeing
he is in the back of his head. He's like, "Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this?"
Yeah. So maybe inspired by Lilia's courage, Blaze dives into the pool, swims 10 feet down toward the elemental. And what are you gonna do?
I am going to attack it.
Awesome.
I am going to use Scorching Ray. So that is a new second 3 rays of fire and hurl them within range. So I can hurl 3 against them.
Yep, go for it.
Alrighty.
Its AC is 14.
10 and my spell attack is a 17 to hit.
Mm-hmm.
17. All right. So that is 2d6 fire for a total of 7.
Oh man. All right.
7 points of fire damage.
That brings the grand total you guys have done to 25. In our 3rd round of combat. All right. So underwater, there's this hissing jet and powerful steaming bubbles as these 3 scorching rays shoot out. Oh, you get 3 of them, not just 1 2d6. You got to do that 3 times.
Oh, okay. That's 2d6 times 3 then. All right. So that's 7, 4, and 8.
All right.
That is 19 points of fire damage.
Fantastic. All right. So those hot jets shoot out under the water as the fire like pierces through, makes a huge bubbling, steamy mess, hits the elemental right in the chest. She gets knocked back temporarily. Lilia, you're standing right there as you see these fire beams come and hit your foe. Are you going to help out with try to get Orion free, or are you going to attack it?
I'd like to help out to try and get him free.
Awesome. So you can go ahead and give him the help action, so on his turn he has advantage.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, so you sort of brace yourself up against the elemental. You try to get it underneath its armpit and punch it in the neck. All sorts of little things to distract it.
So, like flapping it with my tail.
Yeah. The water elemental is not amused by your tactics and is going to give you 2 fierce slam attacks. With a 17 and a 14.
First one hits. I think the second one doesn't. Yeah, I'm 15 wear shape.
All right, so you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as it hits you with this huge slam of underwater. This huge slam of underwater water. That makes total sense.
Do I get do I take full bludgeoning? Do I have something to reduce that? I may not.
I think in your wear shape you do. I think, but it might only be from weapons.
It's possible.
Okay, let's give it 1 second. Look this up because I'm curious now. I forget to tell you the truth. I have my handy dandy copy of Galder's Gazetteer right here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I technically do too. I have it open right next to me.
From non-magical weapons that aren't silvered. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, and the slam counts as a melee weapon attack. So let's go ahead and say that. Sure, why not?
Yes. So do I half that?
Yes, you half that damage.
14. Nice.
I just want to show off that I have the printer's proof copy of Galder's with the big black cover.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I have the final.
Yay! All right, sorry, I had to show off there real fast. So yeah, you only take half damage from this water elemental attack. Rayan, though, Lilia's helping you break free. Like she's trying to wrench across this thing's arm. You can take advantage of her help.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll go ahead and do that.
All
so
right,
I will make
DC is
a
14.
Okay, acrobatics again with advantage. Okay, 17.
All right, so with your companion's help, you managed to break and swim away.
Okay, yeah, and I want to swim further down if I can.
All right, so you swim. What's
Toward
your
the
swim
portal.
speed? 15.
I guess so. Yeah.
All right, yeah. So you can get all the way down, sort of cross the threshold to the portal, right? And it's
Cool.
kind of weird. You're in a sort of a warm section of water right now, and as soon as you break through, the water gets even warmer. And you start to feel the sunshine, and you feel like gravity is pulling you the other direction now. You need to swim up in order to get out.
Okay.
All right, Millicent. So you are up there with the steam elementals. You're the only one left in the bathhouse. Everyone else has jumped into the pool.
Okay, I'm going to before I jump in the pool, I'm going to cast. I'm going to try and blind the elemental, just to help me swim past it and then swim past it.
Nice. So it makes a con save.
Yes, please.
Fails.
Yeah. Okay. Great. I will also. Who's got the power? So where's Orion at the minute? Orion?
He's swimming all the way through the portal. He's almost he's down past the threshold.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. I will. I may as well give it. I'll enhance Orion's bow, meaning that he just does the thing where the next attack, the target's AC becomes 10 plus the Dex mod, and I'll swim down as well.
Awesome. So he enhanced your bow, Orion, so the water elemental's AC is lowered against you. Awesome. So Millicent, how far can you swim? What's your?
I don't have swim speed, so I've got 30 feet. So I guess it's 15 feet.
All right, so You're almost there. The water elemental is going to try to interdict you on its turn, but it's not its turn yet. All right, Blaze. So you are up there. You see Millicent attempting to swim past you. and this water elemental is still like in a fury, blindly splashing around. You can see it temporarily like makes a form and then it creates a bubble and then crashes back again into invisibility.
Okay.
But
I don't like where I am.
Yeah, between you and where you want to go, there is this wild, crazy mess. Temporarily blinded.
So I'm going to cast another spell from my second level. Shadow Blade is a concentration spell for 1 minute. I have a simple melee weapon, which I am proficient in. I'm going to attack and slash it.
Awesome. You go ahead and make your attack roll with advantage because it's blinded.
That too. Alright, let's see here. So, I am going to also use one of my features as a magical guidance. I will spend one of my sorcerer points and re-roll this 20 as I got a 3.
Yeah.
That was not better. That is a 6.
No, so like even
Plus
trying
7, so
to
no.
cut through the water, it's too much. Like your shadow blade, like it's super light, and you're expecting to swing super hard, and it's just hard to get the coordination right. And
I can't see anything.
Totally
I am not in the mood. I'm just like trying to jaggedly slice at it.
All right, so Lilia, you hear Millicent cry out the curse that will blind this thing temporarily. You see your friend just swam free behind you. Are you going to stay and help Blaze, or are you going to make an escape?
I think I'm probably going to stay. How much longer do you think an otter can breathe or not breathe, but hold their breath underwater?
A long time.
Okay, yeah, I'll stay then.
Yeah, you're not in danger of drowning. Everyone else, maybe not so much.
Okay, so I imagine she's probably going to try to, claw at it and then maybe swim over to Blaze. So
All right,
let's
AC
see if
14.
she hits. Okay. Okay, is that is okay. So one definitely hits, natural 15 plus 7. The other one is an 8, and that's with a plus 7.
Ooh.
Yeah, we crit failed on one of those.
So you get one good swipe, and you try to swipe the other one, but you have to stop, and you get interdicted by some shadow blade that comes out of nowhere.
Oh,
You didn't see that
okay.
coming.
Yeah, not at all. Okay, so for the one that hits, we let's see how much. I should get a second one of these so I can just roll them all at once. That was not anything. Would have been good. Okay, a 4 plus a 2 plus a 4, so 10 damage for that one.
All right. You guys have done 46 points of damage total.
Nice.
All right, and so you swim around back to the front of the water elemental to get next to where Blaze is.
Yes.
Awesome. So you're staying side by side with your buddy, who's braved the waters to come down and help you out. The water elemental, though, is looking around, and it's still really upset that you are disturbing its... This seems like a perfectly fine home for it. And it does not like intruders. It is going to try to slam into you, Lilia. Again. Hit and hit.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so... that's 26 points of bludgeoning damage. Half to 13
Okay,
for
so
you.
it's half.
Is that a disadvantage as well?
Oh. Nope.
Blind.
Actually, yeah, they both hit even with disadvantage.
Oh, dang. Okay.
That's rough.
Yeah. I rerolled, but luck of the dice. Okay. So that's the water elemental's turn. Orion. So you feel like your bow behind you just starts glowing supernaturally as the rune is activated. You can keep swimming, but now the corner back of your eye, you see your two other friends standing fast.
Yeah. No one's currently held by the water elemental, right?
Yep, no one.
No.
Okay. Okay. Can you explain to me the sort of layout, top to bottom, like who is where? Is it just Blaze that's above the water elemental?
Blaze and Lily are next to each other, next to the water elemental. You are swimming away. You're about 10 feet away from the surface on the sandy beaches.
Okay.
And Millicent is there too. She is like just above the water, right?
Okay. All right. How do I think shooting with a bow is going to go underwater?
You'll have to roll at disadvantage.
Okay.
But its AC is only 12.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to roll an attack, and I would like to be able to make use one of my combat superiority dice. So I'm going to grab my bow, knock an arrow, and shoot at the water elemental. Okay. I have an enormous bonus for this. That sounded. But it's like a 17 to hit. So.
Yeah, that'll do it, and you have an extra attack.
Right. So, first of all, I want to actually make this a pushing attack. So I want to add a D8 to the damage and push it. It has to make a strength save or be pushed up to 10 or 15 feet away.
You can try to push it like up and out of the water.
Out of the water.
All right, and it failed.
No, that's one powerful bow.
With a 9.
Oh, cool. Great. Yeah, exactly. It's very powerful bow. So the damage is 11 piercing damage. And it's pushed 15 feet.
All right, so you just hit this thing, and the arrow that hits it right in the center with a mighty crashing wave. It shoots up and out of the pool and splashes down on the bathhouse floor.
Oh, cool.
You have a second attack, too.
Yeah, right. Well, it's like kind of going up and out. I'll try to shoot it again.
It's still blinded, so I think it's actually a straight roll.
I got 2 1s. So.
Oh, no.
Natural 1.
Yeah, you wowed yourself too much to even take the second shot. You're like, this is too cool.
I kind of like fumble with an arrow and I accidentally drop it and it goes down into the beach or something.
All right, your friend's in front of you and the beach behind you. Are you going to swim or are you going to stay still?
Yeah, I'll swim towards the beach.
All right, with your
if I have a sense of like where I will dump into the beach area, like if there's a threshold kind of, I would like to stop just short of that.
Yeah, you can see where the surface is. You can like stop like just below the water line.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and so you're just there like barely bubbling underwater. Like maybe it was when your head pops up.
Okay.
Perfect. All right, so after Orion, Millicent. So you can no longer you just see Orion's feet just barely dangling, like the tips of his boots.
Yeah. Great.
But the water elemental's right beside you now.
Right. I am going to hang on. I'm just looking at levitate here. Yeah, because I think they can. Yeah, I'm gonna cast levitate on the water elemental and hope just float it away. So it's a con save.
Oh no, it passes unfortunately. 22.
In that case, I am going to use a runic voice and make it take another con save for blindness.
And that one it fails, so the water elemental is blinded again.
And I'm just gonna swim and follow Orion.
Blub, 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 blub. All right. So you get down and you come out. You want to exit the water or do you want to stay down?
I'll exit the water, I think.
All right. So you get out on a sandy beach, and it's very pretty around you. We'll get to that in a second.
Start sunbathing.
All right. So Blaze, you are alone in the pool. The monster seems to be temporarily leaving you alone. Are you gonna try to escape?
Lily is no longer in the
Oh, yeah,
water.
I'm still next to him.
Oh yeah. The monster's out though. The monster's in there.
So and I think I saw Rayan go into the portal because I no longer see him at all. So I don't want to be here any longer than I have to be, so I'm going to make a dash swim into the portal.
All right, so you just, as quickly as you can, you just get it over with and you pop back out.
I'm freaking out in the water. I do not want to be in here anymore.
Yeah, so as soon as you exit on the beach and you feel the warm, sunny rays hit your body, instant relief.
At that point, I'm just using my fire and my blood to just warm me back up.
All right, so Lilia, down there in the pool, you get one more glance at the bathhouse. You see the 2 steam mephits have descended angrily upon the water elemental and are darting at it, poking at it at its head. Do you want to join in the fray or do you want to escape?
I will escape.
All right. And then so with a few mighty swifts of your tail, you go back out onto the sandy beach. Awesome. Woo! All right, cool. So real fast, we have a description from dScryb. Link in the description below. Clear turquoise waves lap pleasantly against the golden sand. The water is warm, almost bath-like, and all manner of colorful sea life floats lazily in the crystal clear depths. Trees sway in the warm salt lake breeze, and on the horizon, you see a sailing ship lazily coasting on the dunes. Awesome. We got a new piece of art.
Ooh.
All right. So
I'd like it if there was no water. I'd like it more with no water.
So you find yourself on a beach paradise. All around in the far distance, there is a little cabana that seems to be, overgrown. There's, pleasant things of seagulls. This is truly a tropical paradise. And then on the far side, you see a ship just waiting for you in a small lagoon.
I look around. Do I see any dwarves around?
Go ahead. Looking around, you don't see any dwarves, but looking at the sand, you do see some dwarven footprints.
I think whom we're after is this way. Real quick, did Millicent join in with us? Or is she still in the bathhouse?
No, I'm here. I'm on the beach.
Okay, I didn't remember. I'm too shocked to even realize what's going on anymore. I'm not having a day.
Maybe you need.
I didn't want to swim. I didn't want to be by water.
You look like a drowned rat, Blaze. Maybe start a bonfire. Get yourself right off.
I feel like
I shakily bring back my cigar. I touch it and I start trying to light it. It's soaked. And I'm just lighting it to no avail. And I just break it in half.
Lilia comes over and she's like, "Oh, you must be hungry." Just trying to pet around, but she can't access the cookies she has. Just, "Oh, I'm so sorry."
Blaze is
pats him with her honor.
Blaze is by the touch extremely warm. He has used his fire in his veins to heat himself up even through his bundles of clothes. It's a very uncomfortable touch. He doesn't want to be wet anymore.
All right.
Hopefully, the steam coming off you, Blaze, doesn't give away our position.
Steam signal.
Huge clouds of steam coming off you as you warm yourself up.
Yeah, you are on a very lonely beach. Maybe occasionally a seagull flat by, but as far as from the guppies and the beautiful fish in the water, you don't really seem to see any signs of life.
You follow the tracks.
Yeah, you can follow tracks. Hey, Mr. Endo, thank you for showing up. So you follow the dwarven footprints over to the boat. You get the boat. The boat is painted a brilliant metallic blue, and there's a fin coming off of the quarterdeck that makes it sort of look like a dolphin. At the top of the ship, his feet sort of kicking over the starboard side, you see a stout-looking dwarf. He is shaved and looks kind of shaved head and has a wild-looking beard, and he has a crazed look in his eye. He is smoking a long pipe and seems to be completely enjoying himself.
You said was he a dwarf or?
Yes, he is a dwarf.
Okay, so Lilia calls up. She goes, "Excuse me, sir. Are you Jim?"
With a very gruff voice. Aye, Jim, I am. Houseless Jim, they call me. Because I don't have a house, I have a home, and it's the boat.
Oh, that's a fine boat you have.
He agrees with you affably, and he just, once he starts talking, he just makes like quick conversation with all of you. He like, asks you your name, your history, like what's your favorite color, what's your favorite magical monster.
I'm very apathetic. I am not. He's by the boat. I stay away from. I'm staying behind most of everybody. I've pulled another cigar. This one's dry, at least.
So after, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I imagine that Lily is being like polite and and as she answers that, a lot of her answers are very just food related. And she's like, oh yes, they remind me of like, oh, this is my favorite monster because it reminds me of my favorite dish. And
I love unicorns because unicorn tarts are delicious.
Yes, unicorn tarts are the best.
So after so much time, so much circular conversations, he finally gets around to mentioning Alexander Louis. That he's the one who heard from... He heard from Machine that one of her hunting parties had spotted 2 men. And Jim thought this could be useful information, and he passed it back through various channels, through the sunbathers who occasionally come here, and they got back to Alexander. And now you showed up.
Yes. And what did those men look like? Did one of them have a glowing axe by chance?
So he again realized that he's hearing this like third hand. He heard this from the hunting party, he heard this from Machine, the chiefess, who heard it from her hunting party. That yes, that there was a man who meets the description of Jack Hook, the lawyer, and then another man who was carrying an axe. And the axe glowed.
Ooh.
Sounds like the people we're looking for, Jim. So where's this Machine? Is there a tribe around here?
Yeah, he points to his boat. He says, hop on, they're just one island over.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, he's already been paid for the journey. It's already been chartered, and he's happy to have some company for the day.
Blaze looks around. He's trying to find some other way. He does not want to get on this boat. It's a pretty boat, but he doesn't want the boat.
Listen, Blaze, if worst comes to worst, I promise, you have it on my honor, I'll cast Levitate on you.
Jim...
You'll be fine for an hour.
So Jim doesn't really understand what your problem is. Blaze doesn't understand why you would not want to live on a boat. But then again, he points up to the skies, and off in the distance, the clear blue is starting to glow cloudy, and says, there be a storm coming. But the point is that's better to be on a ship with a quarterdeck than out in the rain when it comes.
Quarterdeck is a kind of a mini under, yeah?
Yeah, it's like the little house thing at the back of a ship.
Okay. I'm just going to get on the boat slowly and make my way to the corner where there's kind of the corner where it's kind of no windows or anything.
Yeah, Jim gives you like a hearty slap on the back, welcomes you aboard, and starts asking you all about your preference in cigars.
Any?
None.
Bitter?
Lily is probably like, oh no cigars for me, but do you have any cookies by any chance?
He rumbles down there and he pulls up, things that are kind of like cookies. It's hardtack. They're baked. He does.
Scotty.
Thank you.
He tries to chat. He pulls out his long pipe and offers you a plug of his tobacco if you want to try that instead.
Blaze thinks about it. He's not sure.
Very well. He starts smoking it himself. Puff, 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 puff. And you guys get on your way. He casts off, anchors away, and expertly gets the boat underway. It's a small caravel, and he is able to pilot it by himself with only a little bit of help from you. Pull that rope, tighten this one, hit that rudder, and you're off on the calm waters. Eventually,
So, how long is this trip?
He, shrugs his shoulders and tells you a few hours. The sun will get from there to there. And he points up at the sky.
Okay. I guess
we take a
Lilia
short-
will stay Otter until her time runs out.
All right.
Can we take a short rest?
You can absolutely take a short rest. And this is a great
Great.
time to do it, too.
Oh, I guess then she won't stay Otter. She'll
Well, after some time,
Turn
you can
back.
revert to your form.
she'll turn back and then take a nap.
Yeah, so the
This
sun
is just in the
uprist upon
corner.
the right. Out of the sea came he. And then by the night went down into the sea, or something like that. So the sun is passing over the sky, and the clouds are starting to roll in. You can see that the storm might hit before the sun absolutely reaches. And as Jim tells you, before you might reach the island, you might have to deal with a bit of that storm. But we'll see. The winds pick up, and then all of a sudden, Jim starts looking out in the water. And it starts to get a little wavy. A little more wavy than he would like. And then he starts pointing underneath the water. Says, "What's that look like to you?" So
Blaze is not taking a look. Blaze is just sitting there with his cigar. He's staying inside.
I'll look in the water.
All right, so go ahead and make a perception check as you strain your eyes to see down.
Okay.
A worried look grows on Jim's face as he points down to the depths.
$16.
All right. With a 16, at first you see that it looks like a giant fish of some sort. And then it gets closer and you can see that it has fins and a mouth. And then it gets closer still with the 16, you see many, many rows of teeth.
I'm
Is
going to
there-
draw my pike real quick.
All right, you draw your pike. Is anyone else going to look into the water?
Yeah, I think Millicent's curious.
All right, Milson, give me a perception roll. See if you can beat a 16.
19.
A 19. So not only do you see one, but you see a second one coming up fast behind. And not just sharks, but atop the sharks, there are what looks like halfling warriors with black bandanas and spears coming out to
Awesome.
accost the ship.
Awesome.
All right, so before we do, let's take a break before we do this fight.
All right.
Sound good?
All right.
All right,
yeah.
so everybody, let's give ourselves like 10, 12 minutes, and then we will be back. Thanks, chat. Stick around, please. All right, and we are back. Oh my gosh, congratulations, everybody. So we are in another one of our adventures, The Killers of the King. It's a series of linked one-shots. So each adventure is each episode is a self-contained adventure, but watch them all together, they tell a wider story. And so right now we have a group of intrepid bounty hunters who are going after, well, why don't you guys go ahead and recap what's going on. Jordan, how did this adventure start out? Or who are you playing and how does the adventure start out?
Yeah, so I'm playing Orion, what was it, like Shadow or Shade elf fighter. And so we started off getting some information about learning the location of the headsman with the glowing axe who actually killed the king, as well as one of his accomplices. And so we had to head to a bathhouse to get started on our journey.
All right. And then so Andrew, playing Blaze, when you got to the bathhouse, what did you find there? Who was in charge of the bathhouse?
It's a blur for Blaze. He was frightened at the sight of a water.
Oh yeah, that's right. All right, so you weren't even there actually. Tatiana, you want to try to say who was in charge of the bathhouse?
Sure. So we met up with Akia Archstone.
Aqueous Archstone, yes.
Aqueous. Oh, darn. Okay, Archstone, and he actually ended up getting the land from Blaze. So we had a little bit of a I want to say confrontation with him, kind of being all like, well, it wasn't yours to begin with, and showing how he now has the land that used to be Blaze's land.
Yeah. So the proprietor of the bathhouse, and the bathhouse has the portal. And
Correct.
Where's a portal to where, Dom?
A portal to a beach where we'd heard that a guy called Jim, a sailor called Jim, who'd heard on the grapevine that the people who were matching the description of the guy who actually chopped the head off the king, who was called I don't think we know his name. We just know he's got Bloodrum. I've got here Bloodrum, who's got a glowing axe, and Jack Hook the lawyer. They were spotted by a tribe with the chieftain called Mackinac. So we know there was a portal there in the bathhouse, which we managed to you fight off barely a water elemental that was taking refuge in the bathhouse, one of the rooms, and go through this portal to a magical beach.
All right.
Where we met Jim.
And so Blaze, once you suffered through much humiliation, suffered through Aqueous, the person who now owns your land, and if you suffered through having to swim through water, you have to suffer through getting onto Jim's boat. Then what happened?
Then it started to storm. And then a rocking came in the boat. Creatures from underneath came rising up. But Blaze doesn't know this. Blaze is cowering in the corner of the ship hull, cuddling up with his cigar.
Yeah. So as Blaze is cowering in the corner, what is coming up on the boat?
Halflings riding sharks.
Halflings riding sharks.
Lots of teeth.
Which, I mean, can you think of a better episode name than that?
Halflings riding sharks.
Yes. So as the storm comes roiling in, Jim is still trying to steer the ship, but coming up, it seems to be pirate halflings riding sharks. They just break off of the water. And then with one quick thrust, they start trying to attack whoever's on deck, try to make quick work of the crew. You. Let's go ahead and roll for initiative.
All right. Were we able to rest before this?
Yes, you guys took a short rest.
Okay. Just making sure that the hit points I rolled count.
I've got 9 for my initiative.
I have a 12.
I have a 13.
I got a 5.
All right, 5 for Orion. All right. So you guys were already staring into the water. You guys were able to steel yourselves. You're ready for the shark attack. Lilia, before they even break the surface of the water, what are you going to do?
I'm gonna change. I'm gonna turn back use my were form.
All right. So what sort of were animal are you?
I am an otter.
So you erupt into your were otter form. Your
Yeah.
claws are mighty. Your tail whapping.
Suddenly a shark appears up. Rawr!
All right. So you
It's a battle
transform
of
with
the
a bonus
waters.
action. So the first shark has just barely crested the water. You can swipe at its nose if you want, or the halfling on its back, or do something else.
Yes. I will attempt to go for both of them, 1 and 1. I guess I should do these separately. So first one for the shark. That could have been good if it wasn't at a corner. Okay. I'm pretty sure that's a fail. For the shark, that's a 9. And then for the halfling, that's a 16.
So you hit the halfling, but you miss the shark.
Okay. Thought so. Okay, so for the halfling, I do 11 damage.
All right. So you swipe at it with its claws, but the halfling on its back is quite athletic. It sort of rolls into one thing and manages to kind of half parry the other. You do manage to do some damage to it, but you don't become a shark rider by being a wimp.
Good point.
All right, Blaze. So you're sort of all the way back into the quarter deck, trying not to get seasick. Well, you see your friends get into attack mode, and the shark jumps out of the water with a rider with a trident on its back.
Do I see the halfling?
Yes.
Okay, how far is the halfling?
Probably like 30 feet away from where you're standing.
30 feet away? Okay. I am going to cast my Shadow Blade, and I am going to throw it.
All right, go ahead and make a ranged attack roll.
A 15 plus proficiency, so that is a 18.
Oh, was that you definitely hit the rider.
So I threw it, and he is going to be taking 2d8 psychic damage. For 4 points of damage.
All right. So this shadow blade whips through the air, little whiffs of black trailing behind it, and it strikes the halfling like right on the neck, and you hear his mind sort of like a quick yelp as a spike of psychic energy hits his brain.
Oh, could it be like made out of your cigar smoke?
Yeah.
Sure enough,
itself
it's
is made out
all
of
over the
smoke.
place in there because I'm.
Nice. Very cool. All right, so Millicent, you're watching over, and Blaze just exhales smoke, turns into a sword, and chucks at the shark rider. You see a second one coming out of the water. This one also has a long trident in her hand.
Okay, I'm going to put my hand on Blaze's shoulder, and I say to Blaze, I did say if the worst comes to the worst, I could cast levitate on you. Do you want to levitate, Blaze?
Into what?
As in, I can just lift you 20 feet up in the air, so you can have like I'm asking you because obviously you might not want to do that. But it could mean that you could have like you could be up in the air and cast stuff down without being at risk.
Attacked.
As long as I don't fall into the water.
I've got Featherfall as a reaction, so that's my insurance for you. It's up to you. I can do something else if you don't want to do that.
You could hold on to the
Blaze
mast.
begrudgingly agrees, but he is going to stay very close to the center of the boat.
All right, so you walk towards the center mast and you start to levitate.
Yep, and then I'm going to use my runic voice, and I'm going to because I can use a bonus action one on a I thought it was called runic something, and use gravity behind the female halfling on the shark that was threatening. So if it moves towards, it needs to take a strength save or fall prone on its turn.
Awesome. Good to know. Okay. So Orion, you're up right now.
Okay, so I have my pike. Where are the sharks and halflings right now?
The male one is like right in front of you. Like it just
Okay.
He popped out of the water. You can see he's got a couple of long black bandanas tied around his wrists and elbows and head.
Okay. I will swing my pike at the halfling.
All right, so you try to stab him in midair. He's already been damaged a little bit from Lilia trying to claw at him, and so you could probably just shish kebab him really fast.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and make this a precision strike. Add a D8 to the attack roll. Okay. 15 to hit.
15 hits.
Okay, great. That's going to be 5 piercing damage.
All right, so you've done 20 damage. You've done 20 damage to that one. And he's definitely looking worse for the wear now. Like that pike got him like right underneath the rib, and he's letting like a trail of blood that starts to drop down to the water and starting to make the shark twitch.
Ooh, okay. Oh, I have a second attack.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I will attack the halfling again.
Okay.
All right, 23 to hit. That's 8 piercing damage, and no, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
I'm tempted to try to trip him off the shark, but I don't want to blow all my dice too early, so maybe next round.
So your first pike attack gets him right underneath the ribs, and then as he reacts, his shark starts to twitch. You take advantage of that motion and get him a second time, right underneath the other rib. He's doubled over at this point. Clearly wasn't expecting quite a fight from what he thought was a mere merchant vessel. But now it's his go. These black bandanas are waving wildly in the wind as he leans back with his trident and makes a mighty attack down at you, Arayan. But I don't think 14 is going to hit you.
Nope.
All right. No, definitely misses. All right. The shark, though, as it dives back down to the water, is going to make a passing bite at you. The blood in the air is making it into a frenzy, and it attacks with ancient primal precision. Or maybe not. 12 plus 9. Yeah, that'll hit you, right? 21? Yeah. So you take 21 points of piercing damage from the shark bite.
Oof. Jeez.
The other halfling, she's coming up now, right? Again, she's got like a black bandana like around her head, around her chest, around her elbows and wrists. Just sort of like a flailing wildly in the breeze. She's gonna make her spear attack against whoever's on the deck. That'd be probably you, Millicent, right?
Yes. Does she make a strength save to move out from the shark?
Yes, and she fails. So she actually gets pulled away, right?
It's creatures that attempt to move away from the center must take a strength save or fall prone. What that means when she's mounted, I don't know.
Yeah, so she gets like knocked backwards on her shark, right? And so she's gonna have to make that attack roll with disadvantage against you.
That's good.
And misses. The shark, though, passes its save with a nat 20. It does not get advantage on its frenzy bite against you because there's no blood by where you are. But it still hits with a huge bite, and you take 21 points of piercing damage.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah. 1,000 teeth. Truly fantastic predator. Out to get you. So Lilia, you're standing right there. You see the one bloodied halfling, the one shark that's, just took a huge bite out of Orion. And then at the corner of your vision, you see the other one at Millicent.
I am going to attack again the shark and the halfling in front of me. I think this time I'm going to go for the halfling first and then the shark. So let's see.
All right, the halfling's already doubled over in pain. Did you manage to get him with your claw?
Got a 9 on that one.
No, but you have a second attack.
Okay, that one should be a hit. 23?
Yeah, that's enough. So he brings up the
23.
trident to block the first blow, but you manage to smack him across the face with the second.
Yeah. Oh no, the second one was for the shark.
Oh, okay.
And 8 damage this time.
Yeah, so you managed to smack the shark, but against its thick leathery skin, you don't really feel like you got a good hit in.
Nope.
All right.
Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
For the preternatural being, does that happen automatically? It says you gain, so I guess once on your turn, so I can choose to do that, and then does it continue? Is it just once during combat? Is it once a day?
Which feature is it? Is it a beast trait?
It is not a beast trait. It is, I think it's part of brute form.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Page 36.
Ooh, thank you. Preternatural.
I figured that would help.
Oh, okay. So yeah, your hit points are always increased permanently, and then the frenzy die is one thing that just keeps building up.
But I have to choose to go on a frenzy to use it. Is it something that I can continue to choose?
Yeah, you can keep. Yeah, you just keep choosing to do it.
Okay, I'll do that next time then.
Yeah. Yep. So it's just one thing. It just keeps building up.
Okay.
Awesome. Cool. And so Blaze. So
before Blaze goes, sorry, I was concentrating on that spell, and I rolled myself a little concentration check. I got a natural 1.
Oh
no. So Millicent, a shark takes a massive bite at Millicent. She kind of falls to her knees and sees all the blood coming out and completely forgets about the spell and suddenly goes Blaze. And as he's falling, she casts Featherfall as a reaction.
Nice.
Blaze is not happy, but he's all the people around. He's going to attack with Scorching Ray. I can select up to 3 targets, so I am going to select 3 targets. So I'm going to select the 2 sharks that are currently chomping away at people and the one halfling.
The wounded halfling male or the fine halfling female?
The wounded one is still prone to damage, so I'm going to attack the fine one.
Okay.
So I'm going to roll 3d20 for each attack. 6, 16, and 11.
The 11 misses. The other 2 hit.
Okay. So I'm gonna say, because I said shark, and then the elf, we're gonna go shark and elf. So each of them take 2d6 fire damage. So the first one takes 10 points of damage, so that's to the shark. And the next one, the elf takes 6 as well. Or takes 6.
Okay.
And each is fire damage.
Good to know. All right, so Blaze lets out, as he's slowly falling from the mast down to back to the deck, he lets out the pew, 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 hits them all 3. Millicent, staying back upright, having just cast your reaction, what are you going to do against the Shark Riders?
So she's going to go through a portable archive, pull out her rune of vision, and use it to strike one of the sharks, the shark that just took a bite out of her.
Okay.
So con save.
Pass.
Going to do it again. Same shark.
All right, and pass, nat 20.
Then I am going to use a runic flare and give. I think I'll give a power rune. I'll enhance the power on Orian's bow.
Okay. Sounds good. All right, Orion. So again, the rune on your bow lights up. It sort of warms. You feel its warmth against your skin. The one rider that's damaged, he's looking like he might try to get out of here. But the other one, the female, she hasn't registered what's going on yet.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So I will sort of retreat to the middle of the boat and put away my pike, and I basically want to switch to my longbow, but I imagine, I don't know how you want to handle the actions of that.
Yeah, you just put the pike in the ground real fast, get out your bow.
Okay. Can I still attack with it this round?
Yeah.
All right. So I will do that. I'll aim at the female halfling.
Okay.
What does the that rune of power do?
It gives D10. It makes the armor class 10 plus dex. Unless it's already lower. So I'm not sure if that makes it easier or not.
Yeah, it lowered her armor class to 12 from 13.
Oh, her armor class.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. So I'll make start with one attack at her.
It's just the first attack.
Oh, okay, great. I absolutely nail it. I think 28 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's going to be 9 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'll do a second attack. Okay, this is 16 to hit.
Yep, that'll hit.
Okay. Why don't we make this one a trip attack? So I will add a d8. Okay, so 15 total damage. And if she's still alive, she'll have to make a strength save or fall prone, which I'm hoping knocks her off the shark.
Yeah, your 2 arrows were well placed. You got her right by her heart, and the other one like right underneath the lung. Right, you can always tell that she's looking pretty scared for her own life at this point. But with a natural 20, manages to keep herself aboard the shark.
Okay.
All right. And now it's their go. Both the riders of the sharks are pretty near death at this point, and rather than stick around and fight you guys, they're gonna try to flee. But just for good measure, as they make their getaway, they're gonna have their shark try to get one more bite in to try to deter you from following. So the male is still closest to Lilia. So Lila's gonna go ahead and, yikes, you definitely got hit with 23.
Right.
Yeah, so that's 21 points of piercing damage. Halve to 10.
Yes.
And then I guess no one else is really all that close to the edge of the boat, right? You guys all moved to the center. So the one of the female shark is just going to go ahead and swim away unabated. So Jim, he peers out from behind the quarterdeck for where he was cowering for a second behind Blaze. Looks around and breathes a huge sigh of relief. He's quite thankful.
Blay is still falling down, and he's like, "Where's my damn cigar?"
Jim sort of agrees with you, right? He like sort of like gets the nervous ticks for a second. Is having trouble sparking up his pipe. He looks hopefully over to you.
I send a quick little pyrokinesis to his pipe and light it.
He takes a long pull and breathes a sigh of relief out.
Yeah, me too.
Smoke him if you got him. Ooh. All right. So
I'm going to shoot a glare at Millicent. Feather falling. In the middle of a boat. In the middle
You
of
had the mast.
sea.
You had the mast to hold on to. I mean, what more did you want me to do? You. Tell me this, Blaze. Were you the furthest distance you could be away from the water?
I've been on shore.
Well, yes. Obviously.
I'm making my way into the boat. I'm just tucking my head in way as far as I can.
But it's true from up there. You got the biggest view of all the water. So that might have not been good. So apologies for that. I meant the best.
That is why he is not lighting you on fire.
So this might end up being one of the worst days of Blaze's life as the rain starts to come and the winds pick up.
Does anyone have access to healing?
I've got one healing word. I'm keeping that if someone goes down.
Fair.
I am just sitting in the house. I am very carefully using control flame and produce fire that's not burning the boat, because even though I don't like the boat, kind of need it to not get into the water.
Blaze has a quality cigar that acts as a potion of healing, if he's willing to share.
Who's the most hurt?
Could we take a short rest anyway? Possibly. It depends whether or not. Well, actually, first I might ask Jim about these pirates. And Jim, these pirates, have they bothered you before?
So Jim, he shakes his head angrily, right? And he sort of goes on to a rant and says that's why, people don't tend to come out to these islands anyway, right? The people there, very protective of their life, their lifestyle. It's best just to let them do what they want.
Are these aren't part of Makina's tribe, are they?
He shakes his head no and says the people of Makine's tribe, they all wear red bandanas.
Ah, right. So do you think they'll be back? These black bandana lot?
He throws up his hands. Your guess is as good as mine. He sort of points around the ocean and he notes that there's no other boats around here. That not too many people are fond of coming out to this area because it's so dangerous and remote. Which he's pauses for a second. Probably makes a good hiding spot.
Hmm.
Just as side fluff, Blaze hesitantly takes a quick puff of his magical cigar and hesitantly hands it to Lilia.
Yes, she will.
He starts scratching at his neck, waiting for it back.
All
At
right.
the same time, just cradling his hands with the fire.
What is the roll for?
So you get back 2d4 plus 2 hit points over the course of 10 minutes.
Okay.
And so over the course of those 10 minutes, the wind picks up faster and faster and faster till it's almost a gale. The sails on the ship are shuddering heavily in the wind. And all of a sudden, you start to see some of the water out in the distance get picked up. The wind is so fierce, it starts to drag the water up out of the ground towards the sky, going more and more and more. Jim is starting to look nervous, but he is a skilled sailor and starts to try to pull the ship inward. As a water spout forms on the horizon.
This is another water elemental. I'd be very disappointed.
No, Jim graciously rushes the ship to shore, and he starts barking out commands, asking you to pull the ropes and to steer the rudder. And you guys expertly you all follow his commands and his advice. Don't give some lip or anything.
Yeah, Millicent takes off for once her pristine archivist's white gloves and like tucks them into her back and like gets her hands dirty and starts pulling on ropes and stuff.
All right.
Blaze hesitantly just keeps his head down and just pulls the rope.
All right.
Focusing on the rope.
Oh, you know what? I can cast magic. As a free thing, I can cast magical darkness around you, so you're like blinkered.
I'm just blind. I'm like, can't see shit. Okay. Just cheerily, I don't see anything. I am happier this way.
It's like when you transport a horse or something.
Exactly. Both water.
Yeah.
So using the force of the wind, Jim manages to get the boat into a nearby lagoon and manages to moor it on the island. You're where you want to be, but he's not going to be able to get out for a long time. He suggests that you guys shelter here.
Okay.
After you can take another after an hour passes or so, if you guys want to take another short rest, you have the opportunity
Yes,
to.
please.
Short rest and get a little bit of sorcerer spells.
That was
Such.
better. Two.
Oh my god.
I guess one more.
I've completely forgotten. Do you add con modifier to hit dice rolls?
Oh, I forgot to do that. Okay, good call.
Yeah, the same thing, except I've just been mostly doing my spell attack, so I just have a +7 to spell attack.
Oops.
I'm blinded, so I'm calmer. I'm taking fewer and fewer hits of my cigar. Still taking hits, but I'm taking fewer.
And also, I can give you, at the same time, I can make it magically dark around you. So no one can see, by the way, not just you. But like I think it's like 10 foot around you. And also give you blind sight, so you can like sense where things are, but you don't have to see them.
Oh, that's cool.
That'll be useful.
Very cool. All right, so
I forgive you, Millicent.
So
He says calmer.
after an hour passes, the wind seems to die down, and the funnel cloud disappears from the horizon. Jim is gonna. He tells you that there's still some work he has to do on the ship, though. Things need to be plugged, water needs to be bailed out. But he appoints you off into the woods, and you can see just barely the markings of a foot trail that lead into the jungle beyond.
Well,
All right.
are we
let's
ready
go
to set out?
Yeah, let's go. Thank you very much, Jim, for your fantastic sailing.
Yeah, he'll be right back here when you need him.
We'll try and bring you back some better biscuits.
He nods gingerly with his approval. He's the type of person that makes for a long goodbye too. Like he keeps saying, "Okay, well, this and then this and then this," but don't have to do it here. Like, look out for the wild pigs. There's really big ones on the island. All sorts of stuff. And so you guys are waving off him as you make your way into the jungle. After a brief walk, maybe not even more than 15 minutes, you find a bit of box text from dScryb. Leaves spiral lazily down from the burrows of colossal trees, providing a treetop village. The suspended village and its foundations. Cleverly designed platforms hold aloft huts built in a radial fashion around each of the mighty timbers, connected with rude but functional rope bridges holding up sturdy planks. Yet some of the more daring inhabitants seem to prefer moving from platform to platform through brachiation, swinging with wild abandon from the vines of the roofs tied off with limbs high above the village levels. A pulley system with buckets attached allows those in the center of the settlement to withdraw well water from a culvert dug in the forest floor. Seemingly every one of the village has conquered their sense of vertigo, for even though the platform feature rails prevents accidental falls, an incautious step would surely spell doom for an unfortunate soul. All this village is filled with halflings in island dress. Some of them are wearing skirts woven delicately out of palm leaves. Others are wearing, looks like cloaks made of bird feathers of 1,000 different sorts. All of them are shoeless, with big hairy clumps of black hair on their feet.
And they're wearing red bandanas, some of them.
Yes, and they all have red bandanas in the breeze. The men have little like red loincloths. The women have little red bikinis, and all of them wear it on their ankles and wrists too.
Blaze will definitely look overdressed, but he is comfortable.
All right. I guess Lilia will like approach and be like, "Hello, hi."
So walking into the middle of the village, everyone like sort of stops and just sort of like stares at you, right? Like people in the vine stop swinging, people in the treetops like peer over the railings down, and they all like chatter excitedly to each other in a language that I don't think any of you speak.
When I realize this, I start casting a ritual for comprehend languages.
Nice.
So as you do that, right, as you're trying to cast this ritual, they all sort of gather around you in a circle and start like pointing in a direction towards the center of the village.
I suppose they're pointing us to go.
Do I get a sense that they don't like me doing magic?
No, you get the sense that they're excited to see you. So looking over, right, they're pointing you as you're just as the ritual finishes, you start to make out what they're saying as they're pointing you to this the center of the village, and they say, "Oh, here is the meeting house. Don't worry, you're gonna wait here. There's gonna be food coming, but you have to just stay here and wait for a second." And then another person chimes in, "Oh yes, you have to stay here. You know what? This is what everyone has to go through this process. We don't want you to look at us too much. We don't want you to stealing around." And the person says, "Yes, it's you have to eat the dinner first. You have to get the approval of the feast before we let you into the rest of the place." So everyone is not being necessarily rude, but they're being very, very, very insistent that you have to go to this hut. And when I say hut, it's about the size of, not even the size of a carriage, right? Half the size of that. It's about the size of a large man bent over. In fact, that's what it's carved as too. The 4 posts of the hut are carved like hands and feet. So a person like in a bear crawl pose. And there's a big head looking down over the entranceway. This only comes up to Blaze, maybe like your rib cage. The entire structure. And the door is maybe at your knees. Next to it, there is a large fire pit and a pot. The fire pit has a dinosaur that is roasting. And the pot has boiling water. And next to the pot, there is a large conch shell, which is about the size of the little hut. And so everyone is pointing at you to go inside the hut.
Lilia is gonna turn to Blaze, and she's gonna be like, I don't know. What do you think? Should we?
It seems like a.
They're very, very insistent that we go in the hut.
Yes, something seems odd about the hut. Can any of you detect anything from this?
And I mean, they seem to be, they seem to be telling me that we need to do the feast first. Is that what they're saying?
Yes, and actually now that you're in front of it, some of them seem to start to be a losing interest. Like, oh yes, they're here. We have other things to attend to, right? Like, oh yes, whether the pigs are missing, and you start running off and try to solve that problem. We still have the potatoes to gather. Some of them have gone rotten. Some of them walked off. And some of them are like, no, they have to. Makine is going to be waiting for them. She's expecting guests. All this good stuff.
No, they seem friendly. It's just some sort of weird tradition, I guess, that we have to go in this tiny hut. Maybe it's bigger on the inside.
Yeah,
makes sense.
They're pointing down. Are you speaking to them, or are you just like listening?
I can't speak their language, but I'm kind.
You can understand it?
I can just comprehend it.
They're pointing at your shoes. They're trying to get you to take them off.
So I'll take off my shoes and then I'll tell everyone. They're insisting that we take off our shoes as well.
Yeah, they're trying to get you to put them in the pot.
In the boiling pot of water.
Yes.
Blaze is hesitant, but slowly starts to undo his shoes.
To be honest, Blaze, I think their shoes had seen better days.
A young halfling girl walks up. She's got a little grass skirt on. She gladly just like yoinks it from you, dusts off the mud from the boot, and puts the boot in the boiling pot of water a few times and hands it back to you.
I take it back. It feels cold to me, but it's probably boiling to everybody else.
And she starts like pointing at your other shoe.
Lydia, you lived in a forest.
I start removing the shoe.
Yes, I ask Lilia. Lilia, you lived in a forest? Was this sort of thing usual in your community?
No.
It's not part of any custom I've ever heard of.
No, this is new to me. Yes, it's curious, very very curious. I wonder.
Maybe as halflings who don't wear any feet, they find shoes. They think the shoes are dirty or something. I don't know. I say we go with it, and I take off my shoes and hand it to the.
Yeah, and they do the same thing. They brush off all the dirt. They dunk it in the boiling water a few times, and they hand it back to you. And then listening to the chat a little bit more closely.
Have shoes?
I don't know. Do you think she does? No, she's a halfling, right?
Yeah, she's a halfling.
No.
She's a halfling that changes into an otter. I don't think they'll have shoes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so you're fine. They don't come after you at all.
Okay.
All right, so after you guys all participate in the ritual boot boiling, go for it. What's up, Jordan?
I have a weird feeling, and so can I kind of like try to sniff the air with advantage?
What are you trying to smell?
Use my elf nose to just sense if like anything is off, like if there's anything unexpected on the air.
Yeah, so go ahead and roll and give yourself a big old sniff.
Okay. Okay, 22. Wait, is that right?
Yeah, with a 22, you smell...
20, sorry.
Yeah. You smell earth, and you smell fish, and you smell, like, boiling coals. You smell sweat. But nothing really strikes you as, incredibly... Well, lots of things here are definitely unusual to you, but nothing smells particularly, like, odd or dangerous. Like, you don't smell like a demon.
Nothing, no blood, no decay.
The closest thing you smell is like a dish full of what smells like maybe like fermented fish. You're like, maybe you wish you didn't smell that.
I want to say, in the Feywild where I come from, these are actually, this makes sense. The boot boiling, it's actually pretty common.
Totally.
Oh.
Yeah, Millicent, you sort of hear the chatter, like listening to them. Eventually, you get some confirmation, like, "Oh yeah, you have to cleanse them. You can't.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't walk underneath their ancestor like that."
Oh, this is their ancestor. It must be traditional in their culture to have dinner in their ancestor. I don't know. Anyway, when in I forgot what the name of the main city that we come from is.
You're from Mir Lorraine. You're in Rumblood now.
Well, when they say when you're in Male Arraign, do as the Male Arraignians do. And I crawl into the ancestor thing.
All right, so you have to like really like crouch down because this thing's like a really tiny door. You manage like to squeeze your head and shoulders in. But once you get on the other side, it's actually a massive space. It's much bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. There are lots and lots of rows.
Hut.
TARDIS.
Yeah, there are like rows of benches, each filled with all sorts of villagers, all performing different tasks, right? Some of them are peeling potatoes, some of them are chopping onions, some of them are dunking fish in what looks like big vats of, or it smells like big vats of vinegar. All sorts of things. And then at the far side, you see the stoutest of all stout halflings. She turns to you, her lips are tattooed black. And she's wearing a long cloak made of the tiniest, finest feathers you've ever seen. And they make a rainbow pattern going from like bright red all the way down to purple and then down to a deep, sort of bloody brown at the bottom. You take it as she walks over and everyone sort of, gives her like a courtesy nod as she makes her way across the large hut. This is a person of stature and importance.
So if I can see you, is everyone else coming in the hut? I kind of like, I'll maybe once I've crawled through, I kind of like put my head out the other way and kind of like say, it's bigger on the inside.
Blaze is confused, but he's already been through hell in a handbasket, so he's just
Blaze. It's dry. They've got a nice fire in here. I think it's dry. It's warm. You'll be happy.
Blaze is going to crawl in happily.
Me too.
Yeah. Lilia follows.
All right. So once everybody's inside and getting like a good scope of this thing, when this person walks over, she sort of like takes a glance up at all of you folks, and then very without much pretense, just says that now's not the time to discuss business. First, we must dine.
Is this in common?
Yeah, she speaks the common tongue.
Okay. Oh,
I think
food.
Millicent will give a bow so she goes down like below her level sort of thing to show deference.
Mm-hmm. So she points over at the benches as though to get to work, right? There's there's knives right there, there's peppers to be cut, there's flowers to be mashed.
So Lilia will offer to help.
Fantastic.
Millicent will like look to Lilia to like direct her to do this sort of stuff as the party like chef, cook, amazing food person.
Blaze is hesitant. He's never had to hand cook his meals before too many times.
Okay. So the way this is going to be a long sort of a skills challenge, right? You're going to both have to cook the food for the meal and then negotiate over dinner. All right.
So it's a business dinner. Okay, I'm used to those.
It's a business dinner, right? So does someone feel particularly skilled in the cooking that wants to take part in that part? All right. So what are you gonna do to add your Otterfolk specialty to their dishes? Like what culinary techniques are you gonna pull?
The ones she knows best. I unfortunately am not the one to answer that.
Otters eat like shellfish, don't they? The smashed shellfish on their tummies.
Yeah, using lots of. So I guess there's potatoes. So perhaps some mashed potatoes. She's gonna, bash them with some rocks, make some yummy.
It's the main otter kitchen utensil is rocks.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so go ahead and make a strength check to see how well you can mash the potatoes.
She has her own with her. She would never leave.
You never leave home without the home rock.
The home rock, the cooking rock, of course.
Make a cooking strength check. Brilliant.
Strength. Why strength? This is a thing that otters do. Oh no. What is my plus for strength? 10.
All right. So you mash the potatoes, but they're not smooth like Grandma used to make. They're still kind of chunky. All right.
She tries.
Yeah, no, but you do impress everybody with your ability to smash clams. Normally you have to steam them. You're much smarter than
True.
that.
In this place, localized entirely in this room.
Yes, exactly. So who wants to help? Now she wants to call people out to dinner. There's a conch shell outside that needs blown, or someone needs to go climb up the vines to make sure the whole house goes. All right, so go ahead and do that, Orion. How are you gonna help call the tribe for dinner?
Well, do I have to climb to blow the conch shell?
The conch shell is right outside, or you can climb the
Okay.
vines and go to everyone's individual houses.
Oh, okay. No, I'll blow the shell because I have panpipe proficiency. So it's just a
Fantastic. Well, it's a huge shell. You have to make a really loud blow. So go ahead and make a Constitution check, and then add your proficiency bonus.
okay, cool. All right. Oh God. Oh, 23.
All right, so you let out a really impressive conch shell blow. Right, that was a really impressive one, right?
I was going to say a really impressive conch show.
Perfect.
Yeah, conch blow impression.
All right.
Were you using like a soundboard for that or?
No, just my mouth trumpet, yo.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounded like professional quality.
Oh, spent a lot of time as a hippie. You learned these things. Okay, so yeah, you do a great job. You blow it loud and clear and with enough passion that all the halflings start coming down from dinner. And it's really fun to watch too. Like even the young ones are incredibly gymnastic. They'll jump from one thing with their feet and grab onto the vines with their toes and sort of scurry down head first sometimes. And then one by one, like a clown car in reverse, everyone starts piling into the tiny hut. All right.
Adorable.
So now you are sitting down for dinner. The chief doesn't do anything until you've at least spent, a good time amount of eating. She believes in the 25-50-25 rule. So after you got a good deal of feast and done some chit-chatting with her, is there anything you want to ask and, sort of like learn about the area before you start getting to the meat of the conversation?
No, go ahead.
Kind of just trying to figure out what is this place? What do they call this place?
They call it Rani Poke, which means the fire blood in their language.
I see.
I feel like Lilia will ask them about some of their customs and she's pretty excited to talk to them and see well, what do you normally do? How do you what's your most popular dish in the area?
What's your grandmother's recipe for rock?
Yeah.
What do you use for mashed potatoes?
Oh yeah, and she sings you a little a song that her mom used to sing to her when she was a little girl. She tells you about all the carvings on the wall and their history. She tells you about her lips being tattooed black because she's the teacher for the whole village. She points over there and says, that little group right there are the hunters of our group. That group over there, she says they're the pig farmers. And she shakes her head. They lost my prized pig. Yeah. Lots of little details. And she says after dinner, they're going to have a dance party.
Oh, fantastic.
Interesting.
I ask her about, without wanting to sour the mood too much, I ask her about the tribe with the black bandanas.
Ooh, okay. So go ahead and make a charisma check to try to gently nudge the conversation in a good direction.
I will assist. So I will
Do you have
assist.
a
Is that a
proficiency in
check or
insight?
is that a check or a save?
I would say it's a check. Do you have proficiency in insight?
I do not.
Ah, shucks. Just charisma for you then.
12.
Okay.
No, sorry, 11.
So as you bring up the tribe with the black bandanas, her face sours, right? She tells you that they are a longtime rival and that they're a danger to their village. That they live in a stone village deeper in the jungle. They have stone walls and stone houses, which them being, proficient, exquisite carvers, they find distasteful. And not only that, she looks back and forth. They don't even eat pigs.
I take an interest in some of the sort of the carvings around, using my antique appraiser's feat to kind of assess them, and I definitely big up. Oh, you must have many skilled and impressive carvers in this village. It takes much more skill to carve wood than stone, I find.
Yeah, she heartily agrees, and then adds in that it seems that the Black Bandana village, they've recently become even more dangerous. They've become obsessed with their own death.
I glance over towards the rest of the party as kind of we know what this means. They're Gnostics.
Yeah.
We're very aware.
The signature feature of the Gnostic cult is they believe that the flesh form is corrupt, and the only way to become pure and free is to leave it.
I'll explain to the chief that it's very important that they don't listen to or read any of their stuff.
She of course shakes her head, and when they sing, we sing louder. When they bang their drums, we bang it louder. Although she nods though thoughtfully and says they try to send messages though. Sometimes the drums do speak.
But I say it's vitally important not to think about what they're saying. That way lies ruin for your tribe.
All right. So who hasn't made their skill check yet? Blaze.
Blaze has not.
All right.
Blaze was going to reach into his into one of his 4 jackets he has on, and pull out one of his better cigars. He, understanding a new custom to a ruler or chieftain of another culture, he offers his cigar as a means of truce and peace.
She looks at it thoughtfully. She's not really quite. She gives it a nice long sniff, and her eyes sort of light up. She tucks it underneath the many colored folds of her finely feathered jacket. And then, very skillfully, she asks you, brings it right back to the center. What brings you here? Why did you come all this way to come to my village? Jim doesn't normally bring friends here.
Unfortunately, we wish we could have come on better terms. We've come seeking information towards those that we're after. Those that have done our kingdom a great evil.
So she nods thoughtfully. And, of course alludes to the information that her hunting party found. She points to them over in the corner. All of them buried nose deep in fish and potatoes at this point. They love their mashed yams, even if they are a little chunky. She says that she believes those 2 people from the mainland, they fled to the other village. They're being sheltered there.
He nods wistfully as he understands where they will likely have to go to complete their mission.
Yeah, she'll tell you the directions to get there, of course.
Blaze thanks her.
Lilia asks, when did they flee?
She'll tell you that the hunting party last saw them a week ago. She doesn't know when they got here initially.
Hmm. Thank you.
She again, she warns you that this place is the enemy village. It's surrounded by a stone wall, and all the houses are made of stone. It's completely subsumed by the jungle. It's a dangerous place filled with dangerous inhabitants.
Does she know, like, do the people ever, have they been seen outside the village? Do they go on like trips or hunting trips or anything like that, or have they not been seen since they entered the village?
She'll shake her head and say that it's very dangerous, that whenever her people meet their people, there's usually a skirmish and someone gets wounded or runs away.
Sounds like we have quite a trek ahead of us. One fraught with danger, I suppose, but nothing new.
We otter folk have a saying. Don't die in the jungle.
Perfectly good saying.
Of course.
Blaze takes a puff of his cigar and it's like, otters know a lot about jungles.
Relevant.
All right. So what do you want to do?
Well, I can't help but to feel we should head out pretty quickly here.
Do you think it's worthwhile, like, seeing if she would send a party to attack, like to do a little skirmish somewhere to at least help us get through a bit of a diversionary raid?
You can certainly ask. Blaze, you want to try to think of a way to do that? You haven't made your check yet. What skill are you going to use to try to convince her to send people along with you?
I will try and use a charisma persuasion.
All right, go ahead and do you have anything particular you're going to use to persuade her? Like a particular argument?
I will say it seems as though even though those that can get wounded, a lot of times they don't necessarily wish to kill all the time. It seems they much rather fight and leave and try and die another time. We're trying to get to end whatever skirmishes, but if we fight these people all together, we may all yet die. So if we distract them, we can get into the other village, collapse it from within, force them to flee forever.
All right, go ahead and make a persuasion check. She is thinking this is a very serious thing you're asking, to send some of her people on a very dangerous mission. Just on the hope that it's going to be good for them.
At the same time, I'm going to use my magical guidance and re-roll this 20. Much better. So that is a +4 +3. A 24 with a 17.
All right.
First roll was a natural 1.
All right, so 2 of you passed your rolls, and 2 of you failed your rolls. So
Sounds about right.
So it's going to come down to the after-dinner dance contest. All right, so who's going to
whip out the dance moves?
Yeah. So as she wants to contemplate this a little bit further, but first she wants to just watch her warriors dance to see whether or not you guys are truly whether or not you can dance as well as her warriors. See whether or not you're actually capable of protecting them. So, who's gonna put on the moves?
I cast jump on Lilia.
I feel like Lilia's down.
All right, so Lilia, go ahead and make a charisma performance roll with advantage.
Well,
my idea is that these
dexterity.
Oh, yep, go for it. That's fine.
Okay. I was all like, his charisma ain't my thing.
No, describe your jumping dance.
It's okay. It's kind of like a hop and a skip and a jump and about. Like she looks just very happy and like chipper and just like like it's just very adorable halfling dance.
All right.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll with advantage.
My theory is this tribe really value vertical movement with their tall houses, so a good jumping dance.
Yeah, she might do some of the like ballet kind of like wee wee.
Can I make a roll to assist and throw her higher?
No, she's already rolling with advantage.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay, let's actually roll with advantage then. All right.
Oh no.
Okay.
You have the advantage roll. Or did you already roll it?
What'd you
I'm
roll?
going to use my inspiration.
Ah, yes. There we go. That's what it's there for.
What do I get? Can I re-roll?
Yeah, you gotta
one?
reroll one of them. Yeah.
Hope that it's better than a 1 or a 4. 'cause-
I believe in you.
Okay, so it's an 8.
Oh.
It was not better than a 1 or a 4. It was another 1.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so you get
Lily.
really into it for a second. Like everyone's doing the hey hati hatu nanako. Right? You really get into it, and then you jump and you jump and you jump and you jump so high, you go through one of their houses. So as you come back down, you see
Blaze has just burnt an entire cigar.
He just like explodes cartoon style. So Makine is none too happy. She admires your enthusiasm, but she doesn't quite trust you with her people. She wishes you luck and points you in the direction of the black bandana village of stone.
Blaze is now paralyzed with embarrassment as he burns another cigar completely.
I am not allowed to roll for the rest of this game.
Well,
So
I thought
horrible.
the jumping was very good. Millicent climbs up and uses mending cantrip on the house to kind of put it right a bit.
As best you can.
Yeah.
But, mending is only a cantrip, and these people are expert weavers, and they're like trying to, even though the kids are like, sort of like correcting, like, no, that's the way it goes.
The mending's trying to work, and the kids are like, stop it.
Like, I can mend stuff, but I've got no idea how to make a house. So I'm just like finding 2 bits of wood and going, probably go together. They didn't go together.
And the kids are like, stop it. It goes like this. You learn this in elementary.
All right. So as you walk into the jungle as night falls, you hear the constant buzzing of insects, the chattering of monkeys, and then like occasionally the bone-chilling growl of a panther or a jaguar. But eventually you follow all the signs and old hunting trails, and then off in the distance you see a tall stone wall emerge. It's black, made out of the volcanic stone of the area, compressed down with a single black tunnel gate leading through it. The wall itself is maybe 20 feet high, and you really can't tell how far it goes because the darkness of the jungle and the denseness of the trees make it impossible to see where it starts and ends.
And what sort of time of the day is it now?
It is nighttime. It is a full moon, middle of the night. So Lily, you really got. Maybe that's what caused you to jump so high. You were not anticipating the superior powers.
Yes.
So as we're walking, I'm going to use one of my first level slots as we're approaching to cast Fog Cloud.
All right, so this
There's a 20-foot sphere of cloud that we can see through, but obscures.
All right, so you have a dense bit of fog covering you. That doesn't seem entirely out of place in this almost supernaturally dense jungle.
Takes a big
Are
hit.
we?
So you're outside the walls of the city. You can see one big open archway that leads in, but you can't see beyond it because it's all so dark.
Okay.
The wall's
I
about
think
20 feet high, and it's probably like 100 feet away from you right now.
Okay, I think Lilia will wear shape into her
otter form, and you feel
otter form.
especially powerful. Like, "Urgh."
Lilia, you could jump up and climb, chuck down a rope for the rest of us.
Can I do that in my wear form?
You have paws. You can kind of do it.
Okay.
So as I could maybe mage hand it up, but I think it might burn it into fire. 'Cause this is a fire of hand.
Not to mention, it'd be really obvious to you like how bright that would be in the pitch black jungle.
Yeah, it's like I could do. No, that's gonna be too bright.
Okay, how high up do you say it is?
The wall's about 20 feet tall, and you can just maybe guess that because there's a little bit of light coming down through the canopy, and occasionally you'll see a torch like on top of the wall, like spark in the distance.
Okay, I could make that jump.
You can make that jump.
All right. I guess I'll oh, but I don't think I have. I guess I motion over for a grappling thing from somebody.
Yeah, someone reaches into their adventuring bag and gets out a grappling hook and rope for you.
Yeah, and then I'll just like and just be like boop, and like just jump right
up
up
to the top. Yeah,
Yep.
no problem at all. So you get up there. The wall, it's maybe like 7 feet deep, so you can like sort of get on it at some points. It's not exactly even, and on top of it, there are like trees growing down all over this wall. Like the wall itself seems like partially made of the forest. But you can find a good spot to sink your hook in, like a branch of a tree, like wrap it around a rock and have the rope going down.
Yep, I will do that. I'll take advantage of the jungliness of the wall.
Mm-hmm. You keep your eyes out. Occasionally you can see a torch in the distance moves towards you, like hold your breath, and then it retreats the other direction. You keep your nose and eyes peeled, and it seems like everyone can get up on top of the wall without much trouble. Now that you're on top of there, you can sort of like look down into the village, which might be like 100-foot square. Occasionally you can see folks down there. There are some campfires burning, some low coal braziers burning. Occasionally someone's like smoking something in their houses, but you can see 3 big stone buildings that seem to be the central focus. Each of these stone buildings has a massive tree growing out of it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that Lilia has something where she can kind of like zoom in with her.
Mm-hmm. With her eyes, yeah.
Right. I feel like I want her to kind of do that at the. Just. You said there was like a hut in the middle. Is it similar to kind of like is the layout similar to the other tribe, but stone instead of?
Oh no, it's not the same. There's like 3 main stone huts. There are lots of other smaller like apartment type buildings, sort of like built Pueblo style into the walls. But the center of the village has 3 big stone structures, each with a tree growing out of them.
Okay. I guess then I'll go for the middle one. Let's hone in on the middle one.
All right, what sort of things are you looking for?
I'm trying to see if there's any hint of. Oh, I guess first question, which I imagine I would know this, we'd be able to tell right off the bat. Is this also a small sized village?
Yes, everything is halfling sized.
So then I'm trying
bandanas that you can see.
Okay. So then I'm trying to see if I can find any trace of like either abnormal glow from perhaps an axe or big people.
Oh yeah, that's a perfectly good thing to look for. Go ahead and make a perception check with disadvantage though, because it's so far away and it's dark.
Okay. Why did I choose to roll? I don't understand. Okay, let's see.
How dare you make things happen in the game?
Okay, you said a perception.
Yep.
What would I add to that?
Wisdom. Sorry.
Oh, I actually had a decent roll. The other one, not so much. A 5.
So from up here, it's really hard to make out many details, right? Like you're looking for maybe like a glow coming out of it, but it's hard to distinguish the glow from a magic, from a glow from a torch. You can't really make out any footsteps. And you can't hear anything over the constant chatter of insects and, you know, the cries of the monkeys and jungle animals.
Can I smell anything though? Because I do have advantage on smelling.
Ooh, yeah. So go ahead and make a wisdom perception check with smell then. Make another one.
Okay. And this one, it's just going to cancel out the disadvantage because I have advantage.
There's no disadvantage for smelling because it's not affected by darkness.
Oh, good point. So I'll have advantage. Yes.
While she's rolling that, is the rope still in place and other people can get across?
Yeah, I assume that you guys are all climbing up there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
I
because
see
yeah,
they're
at this
up there
point,
already.
Lily has just been there for like 5 minutes, and we're like, all right, she's not coming back, so we're gonna go after.
Oh, I thought you guys knew to come up. Sorry.
Nothing was communicated, so
All right, what's your outer nose smell?
Yeah. Okay.
What'd you roll?
I rolled an 18.
Ooh, okay. So with an 18, you know, very faintly, you do get the smell of man flesh, which is different than halfling flesh. Halfling flesh is much sweeter.
Do I get a direction?
It's
like-
the general center of the village, like one of those three big things in the
One of
middle.
those.
But from this,
Okay.
you're, 70 feet away. It's kind of diffused.
I
When-
will whisper to have them come up when I notice that they haven't climbed the rope that I let down to
Yeah,
them.
you wait until you're sure that the torches are walking away again, and then you motion them to come up.
Yeah.
I whisper to Blaze once we're down. Do we need to make a check to get up, or are we just?
No,
we
you're
just
good to climb
yeah.
up there.
To Blaze once we're like down where Lilia is. I go, Blaze, today's, I can tell, it's been a very bad day for you. But if we need to go loud, burn this place to the ground. All these trees, burn it. Have some fun.
Blaze is
You deserve it.
happily able to accommodate this as a child who liked fire. So, with a puff, he nods. Sparks a flame on his thumb, looks at it, puffs it out. Everything,
They're all Gnostics.
everything.
Well, the trees aren't Gnostics. Maybe, you know.
Everything. Oh shit, I was smoking my hydropipe.
All right, so as you guys are standing up there discussing this, you see the torches approaching you again. This time, you're not sure if they're going to turn around. The
We should
patrol would actually reach
get
you.
down.
Shall we make a hide?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should all
try
get
and
ducked down.
Well, you're on top of the wall. You can find like a tree to climb maybe on top of the wall, or you can climb down into the village.
I think we should go down.
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 Yeah.
All right, so you untie the rope and get down there. All right, so now there's it's mostly nighttime. Most everyone is asleep in like the apartments that are lining the walls of the village. But the center there's still a few folks milling about. You might have to sneak over to the center. Or you can create a distraction or find some other way if you want to get to the middle stealthily.
So I can turn invisible, you guys. So we can make use of that.
I can
That'll
also
be
move
useful.
you quite a distance if you want. Do you know where you want to go?
I could scout out the 3 buildings in the center.
Do you want to be
Or-
closer to the center?
Maybe. Or we could scout out these presumably like the guards or whoever are approaching us with the torches. and
I
I
believe that
can
was
make
just
sure
on
that.
the wall. I think we avoided them getting down.
Yeah. as
Oh,
you,
they're up on the
Yep,
wall.
yep,
Oh,
they
okay.
pass overhead of you as you're saying that, and keep making their loops. You're about 50
Okay.
feet away from the village center.
I say go and scout it out. Yeah. See which of the buildings our targets are in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Orion, I will motion you to go ahead and go invisible.
Okay.
I'm
I do that.
I'm just gonna have my hand on you so I know where you are. I'm going
Okay.
to open Dimension Door. That is my 1 4th level spell.
Are you
I'm
sure about
going-
that? Because it's only 50 feet. I can cross that.
You
pretty
sure?
quickly. I am. I'm pretty dexterous, and I hope I can get across quickly.
Famous last words. Let's try.
I mean, I just if there's any other better use for a 4th level.
This is the only 4th level spell I have. And as soon as I use it, it's gone.
Oh, it's the only one.
It is my only 4th level. I only have 1 4th level at 7.
It could be worth upcasting your
fireball.
fire beams. I
Oh,
always
good
forget what
point.
that spell's called, but
Good point. Have fun.
save it. This is crossing the street. I'll be fine.
All right, so go ahead
As
and
he
make
realizes he can give a big fire show. He
Are-
happily.
Are you going to be
Let's go.
invisible or not? You're going to try to do it stealthily.
Yeah, invisible, and I will still try to be quiet.
Oh yeah, so go ahead and roll with advantage as you sneak across.
Okay.
I'm going to cast a
Oddly
minor
enough,
illusion
I'm not.
party of just like a bit of tree or something around us, so we can see through it, but they can't see us.
It's a very minor illusion. Looks like a kindergartner drew like a tree, but yes, it's there.
Good enough.
Oh no,
Looks like a really rough bush.
he's so dexterous he dropped the dice.
You're right. Okay. 18.
Yeah, so with pretty good ease, right? You managed to get across the 50 feet into the center of the village. 3 big stone huts, tiny doors. They're built in sort of like step pyramid shapes with really fine carvings of monkeys and people with many hands all over the buildings.
Okay. Can I take a peek into the nearest one, or are there any like windows?
So there's only the
Is there just
one little like square entry into them, and they're all about knee high, and there's no light coming out from what you can see. They all look completely black. So do you want to peer in number
Okay.
1, number 2, or number 3?
I will peer in number 1.
All right. So just randomly looking in. Go ahead and roll a d6 for me.
Okay. 2.
All right. So with the 2, what you find in this room is a whole cadre of sleeping halflings, right? There's probably like 12 of them, all on mats. Along the walls are a bunch of spears and shields and war clubs. One of them is standing awake. Roll a d20 for me real fast.
3.
And it happens to be facing you.
Okay. Well, I'm invisible.
Oh, you are invisible. That's right. So you stop yourself from just walking right
I'm
into
like,
them.
oh.
Yeah.
I forget for a second.
It's just a face. And you're like,
Yes, you seem to have found
Is
the
there
night
just-
watch in the armory.
Is there just one entrance to this building?
Yes. It's just like a
Yeah.
little square that's sort of like built up with carvings on it and the one little rectangle.
Yeah, if there's any way to plug that up, that'd be great. But I don't have one. I'm happy to moving on to number 2,
All right, go ahead and
if
roll
possible.
go ahead and roll a d4 for me.
D4. 3.
All right. So peering in this room, you see something that's kind of unusual, right? You see a pig that is chained up to a spike in the center of the room. And then on the far side, you see 2 people sleeping, 2 humans sleeping. And then underneath one of the pillows, you see a soft glow.
What? Can I tell what's up with the pig?
I think it's the chieftain's pig. She said she lost a pig.
Yeah, it's
the lost pig. Okay.
We'll say we're not
Okay.
close enough to see what he's seeing.
Yeah.
So after the second place, and he's just sitting there for a second looking in, I'm going to use one of my cantrips and message.
Mhm.
I'm going to ask Orion. Anything good so far?
Can I respond with message?
I think so.
You respond with a whisper, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the humans are here. The axe is here. The pig is here.
Pig is here. I'm just saying that because I didn't really understand that much about the pig. It's just like
The missing pig.
the missing pig.
Remember when the chieftain
not
said,
here.
I lost a pig, and we all went, who cares? I think it's that pig.
I take a hit. I don't care about a pig, but that glow, I'm curious.
It's the axe.
Sounds like the axe.
Yeah, it sounds like the X to me. Is it safe to go across? How many people
Let's
are
try
We
watching?
should check out.
Sneak.
Tell Orion to scout the third building while he's there.
Quickly scout the third building. We'll be behind you shortly.
Okay.
I think I'll motion to the others. We should probably start moving over to there.
All right, so looking inside the third building, it is filled with pieces of bark. They're stacked on top of each other. And at the far end, there is a symbol of the sun, and then a symbol of a right side up sword.
Do I recognize that?
What's that?
Do I recognize the symbol?
The symbol is the symbol of the white church.
Oh,
the
okay.
white god.
I'm not sure what to make of that. I want to sort of wait and rendezvous with everybody else and kind of figure out what to do.
I ask Blaze to communicate to Orion, like, what's the state of the first building. So I guess that's communicated back to me.
Yeah, so message again. Ask. What was in the... We're playing a game of telephone. Magic.
So
A dozen halfling guards and a lot of weapons and shields.
So
So
do
the
I
first
One is
one
awake,
is,
most are asleep.
do I see anything around it, like I don't know, a barrels or a cart or something that I could put in front of that door? Does the door look like it opens inwards or outwards?
There is no door. It's just like an open
Right.
stone cut.
Right, I see. Is it? Are there any sort of objects around it that might be useful to?
The center of the village is mostly just like spare stones. So you could build a wall if you had a lot of time. There's no carts, there's no barrels, nothing like that. There are the big trees that are growing on top of the buildings.
What if we set that one on fire?
What if we cut down a tree and levitated it over to the building?
I'm just going to assume we haven't moved over to him yet because we haven't made our rolls.
Mhm.
I'm just hearing this in whisper. I'm like, what would levitating a tree in front of that help?
Also, wouldn't it be loud trying to cut it down?
Yeah, wouldn't it be loud trying to get when first procure a tree unless you gotta procure? Do you have a? I don't know. I've been smoking my wrong cigar all day.
I love the idea. I'm just not sure whether it can work. But yeah, can we approach the middle building without like being in view of the window, the door thing of the guard building?
So
Oh,
I'll
good
message
point.
that across to Oran. Is there any blind spot to that second building?
All three of the
to that
doors
first
face inward. So like they're sort of like triangulated. So passing from either one would be visible from the other two.
Okay.
Now, I've got augury, so if anyone has any nuts plans that they want a quick check on,
Has what?
any crazy plans, like what if we did this, I can give it a quick check with augury. You know, like what if we cut down a tree, or what if we set the entire place on fire? What, you know, as an example.
I mean, I'm always down to trying and seeing what the heck happens if I've lit one of these buildings on fire.
Yeah. What if we light one of the buildings in the corner? Oh wait, I don't feel like Lilia would be saying any of this.
Lilia probably be like, "Why would we burn a place down?"
Can we get
she'd
in
also
the
be like, I
same
don't
place?
know.
Yeah, I feel like we should probably regroup and make sure we do want to know what we were wanting to do.
Do you want to walk back invisible?
I'm happy. Yeah, I can go back. It should last for up to an hour, so.
Yes, you walk back to your compadres.
Hey.
So, should I try organizing, setting a tree in the corner on fire?
So there's also in the third place, there's a bunch of bark stacked up and the symbol of the white church. What do you guys make of that?
Did it look like a funeral pyre or something like that?
They were thin strips of bark.
It
like
looks
for writing,
flammable.
for writing potentially. Do you reckon it was had some sort of printing press that they're going to like?
Yeah, I bet.
That had a symbol
That's
of the
how
white
they spread
church
the word.
Yeah, maybe that's them spreading the word. Maybe if we set that on fire,
Right.
you know, with them being very, you know, having got that mind virus, they're going to be focused on saving their ability to spread their lies, their untruths about the white church.
Yeah.
Well, should we find out what it will end up being?
Shall I give it an augury?
Sure. That sounds like a good idea.
So the question is burning the bark going to get their attention?
Is it going to go well for us?
Yeah. No, I think the way you do bar is you say what you're going to do, and then you get wheel or woe or wheel and woe.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily a question. It's just like we intend to set the bark on fire in that building.
My DM judgment says that's a wheel. That's a good plan.
Okay. Great.
So how do we want to do it?
So I feel like if I do a create bonfire at a 3rd level spell, I'm pretty sure we're talking about a very big bonfire.
What's our basic goal?
Burning
we want
Man.
to kill the 2 guys that are asleep in there right now? Because we could go do that without any distraction.
Wait, but since we're not invisible, we can't get there without the guards seeing us.
I could do it.
I guess it is true. You could just go in there and just like quick.
Can you be silent?
What was our mission to start with? I wasn't here for the very start. Was it to capture or to kill or to
capture?
I don't think we were ever told whether to capture or to kill.
I don't think we were.
Nope, it's dead or alive.
It's all a mission of vengeance, right? So,
bringing them back is a big public spectacle. Everyone likes seeing them, drawn and quartered.
Arayan, you can go in and do we can basically mix the plans. You can go in, get yourself into position. Blaze is there ready to do a bonfire. If things go loud.
Yeah. That sounds great. What are the other 2 gonna do? What are you guys gonna do?
I'm gonna stay kind of as close as I can get without.
I'm gonna listen in, so like get close enough that I can hear what's going on, and if I hear trouble, we'll come a running on guard.
Okay.
All right.
Blaze, Arayan, if things go bad, shout fire.
Okay.
If you need our help, shout fire. because they'll hear that and then see the fire that Blaze just makes.
And Blaze is happily smoking his happy cigar.
If there's some situation where I can't shout, I will cast dancing lights outside the door.
Okay.
Okay.
So you sneak back across the village to the second house where the two people are sleeping, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you get in there. The pig is awake at this point. All this movement has stirred it, right? And it starts snorting up pretty heavily, right? So as you're seeing that, one of the people under the blanket starts like rustling and starts kicking out from beneath the blanket, trying to get the pig to shut up.
Okay. Well, so I'll stop moving for the moment, and since I'm still invisible, like, hopefully that's enough to keep everything on track.
Yeah, so for a long moment, you just sort of stay there, right? And then the pig starts at it again. And this time, the man sits up. He's not the one sleeping on the axe. He's another person. He's got thin face, dark skin, really big hair. And he looks kind of familiar to you. Like, you might have seen someone like him before.
Is he the guy with the turban from before? Louis, is it Louis?
No, it is not the guy with the turban, but it does look like him.
Oh, that was a different person. That's Aqua something,
Yeah,
right?
Aquis.
Aquis.
It looks like him, but he's not. And in fact, looking over at the side of where he took off his clothes before he went to sleep, you see a big turban next to him.
Okay. But it's not him?
It's not him. But he has like a similar like skin tone, similar nose shape. Again, he's got the awesome afro and the turban on the side.
So probably like a sibling or something?
Quite
Related?
possibly.
Okay. Well.
And in fact, you get a chance to examine him close as he's walking over there. He walks up and starts getting the pig to try to shut up. He starts ruffling around in a little bag right there, gets out a corn cob and shoves it in its mouth, and tries to go back to sleep.
Okay. I will try to quietly draw my scimitar and go to the still sleeping guy with the glowing pillow.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to attack him.
Yeah, just underneath his pillow, you see an axe head sticking out, and that's what's glowing.
Okay, great. Yeah,
Right.
I guess I'm going to attack him.
All right, let's do it. Let's roll for initiative.
Does everyone roll? Or?
Yep, let's roll. Let's all get together in this.
Roll
17.
Why do I roll so well when it doesn't really matter?
What do you add to your initiative roll?
Dexterity.
That is a 14.
21.
I got 17.
All right, and Millicent, what'd you get?
A hot natural 1.
Ooh.
I got it out the way. It's fine. I got it out the way.
So just to let you know, before I would have spent a sorcery point to quicken spell and prep the create bonfire at 3rd level. So that is ready to go.
Okay. Good to know. All right, so Lilia, you get to act. You're acting first, right? So you see all this about to go down. You just got this sixth sense that something's about to happen. Is there anything you want to do to prepare?
I mean, yeah. I think okay, so it kind of sounds. Can I hear? I know I have really good smell. I can't find where my thing is, so I don't know if it also said it was hearing and smell, or was it smell and sight?
It's smell and hearing.
Okay, good. So I kind of like hear some like shuffling and kind of like the pig going on. And so I think I'm going to try to sneak closer so that when I feel when the signal is had, I'm closer to.
Yeah, so you
The
get
huts.
within 20 feet, so you can jump on their next turn.
Yes.
Fantastic. So you start like making your way closer, so you're within one movement of the action.
Correct.
Sounds good. All right. So, Orion, as you are sneaking up over this sleeping figure, right? All of a sudden, all the shuffling from his partner, gets to him. He rolls over, and as though the push the guy tell him to shut up, he opens his eyes and sees you standing above him. His eyes
I'm
go.
still invisible.
Oh, you're right. You are still invisible. So he just rolls over and tells and says, "Hero, knock it off." That name, Hyro, rings a bell to you.
Arrow, knock it off. Is what I heard first time, and then
He's
went out.
Russian. Yeah.
This is his official name now.
Hyro was the name of Aquarius' brother.
Okay.
The one that he was estranged from. He says that he lost to the cult. He's afraid he'll never see again. Succumb to madness.
Okay.
All right, Orion.
Yeah.
And he rolls back. Jack Hood rolls back over and goes to sleep. He matches the face, and you can see it clearly now. It matches the description that you've received. Crooked nose, short blonde hair, pointed chin. What are you going to do?
Going to attack him. I'm going to draw my scimitar silently, hopefully, and just try to drive it straight through his chest, I guess.
All right, go ahead and make an attack roll with advantage, and then automatically score a critical hit if you hit.
Okay. Great. 24.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I was worried, but no, it's perfect.
Automatic critical on an unconscious person.
Okay. We're just doing the double damage dice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So 14 slashing damage.
Nice. Yeah, so you get out and you get a good stab into him. He wakes up screaming in pain as the blade is like, halfway into his shoulder.
Okay. So I'm not finished, although now I'm visible.
Yeah.
I'd like to make a second attack.
Go for it. With advantage because he's prone.
Okay, great. Cool. Okay, 20 total.
Awesome.
8 slashing.
All right. And so
So I have this combat valor thing that I can do a couple times a day. And so I almost want to dash over to the other guy and like grab him. It says I can make an attack, but could I make a grapple check instead of an actual
yeah, you can go
weapon
ahead and trade
attack?
that attack for a grapple. Why not?
All right. So I will dash over to him half my speed. Without provoking opportunity attacks, I will make a strength. Is it athletics?
Yes.
To grab him. So +4. Ooh. 7.
No. All this commotion has woken him up, and he quickly, makes the bars with his arms and fends you off.
Okay. Either way, I still gain 9 temporary hit points, so I will
Nice.
use that.
That burst of adrenaline is really like pumping right through you.
I would also like to shout fire.
All right, Blaze,
Okay.
across the village, you hear a blood-curdling scream, and then you hear your friend shout out fire. As
Oh,
all
it's
of a sudden-
it's like a very manly, like brave scream.
Yeah.
Well,
Fire!
I cast create bonfire at 3rd level. So that is a 60-foot range, but fills a 5-foot cube for 1 minute. How do we want to multiply that?
So you want to start burning like the entire section of that building?
I'm pretty sure that at 3rd level, that entire building should be on fire.
Yeah. So all the room with all the bark and the shrine in there just erupts into flame. All of a sudden, like chaos erupts in the village. Right. The people who are up on the walls, you hear like rocks fall as some of them like almost like jump right by your heads, start running towards the center. The people who were milling about, you start seeing them moving towards the middle of the village, and then right next to the second room, the guard who is awake, he pops his head out and sees that and starts and moves back in. Meanwhile, back in room number 2, where Orion is, Hyro wakes up now. He sees you over him, trying to grapple him. He tries to defend you off. He stands up, pushes himself up against the wall. Ooh, there's the bright axe. There we go. He pushes himself up against the wall and looks absolutely frozen in terror. He doesn't know what to do. Millicent, what are you doing?
So I'm. How far do I start off away?
You're like 50 feet away.
50 feet away, right. I'm going to move 30 feet ahead, and then if I can see like into the entrance of the guard room, can I like? Yep. I'm going to manifest a vision, which just gives like dancing lights type effect, but then I'm going to erupt it, which gives magical darkness in a range of 10 feet from that point.
Okay.
How big is that room, would you say, inside?
About 20 feet square.
I'm going to chuck a level spell on it to make it... it's a 10-foot radius, so yeah, I'll make a 15-foot radius so it covers most of the inside of the room, just to create a bit of chaos in there. All the halflings are kind of running around and stuff.
They're running around in the absolute magical darkness, trying to get their shields and clubs up.
Yeah, and then I'm going to use a runic flare and give Arayan enhance his weapon with
Fantastic.
the 10 plus dex thing.
Beautiful. So again, your bow gets super strong. All right, back to the
Can we
top
do
of the
my
round.
scimitar right now? Since I'm at short range.
Yeah, I think the way it works is I attach a
Ahead of time.
rune to a weapon, and I chose your longbow because, like, usually I associate Arayan with being in long range, but oh well. In that case,
No, I mean that's fine. I
no,
can
I think I'll do
switch
that.
to my
I'll
longbow.
carry on doing that.
Okay.
All right, Lilia, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to. I think. Oh, that's a good question. I
So
don't
you're
think
like
if
25 feet away
she's.
from the action.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out if she should go in the room that has all the guards because there's more of them, or go into the room with the target because that's. I think she's gonna go towards the guards.
You could go right outside the door.
But I
and
need
just
to
attack
like.
as they come out.
Oh, that's fair.
I reckon I've put the magical darkness in there to kind of like keep the guards fumbling about for a bit as they go and get all their stuff.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be bumping into each other and delayed for a little bit, with the idea that you can maybe go in and help her in. And they can't see out now, so you could dart across.
Okay, that's fair. So I think my intention was originally to go in there, and then I kind of see that it's like super dark, and I'm all like, okay. So I go into hut number 2, and yeah, I guess I see one stabbed guy on the bed, and then one that's kind of cowering at the wall.
Yes.
And a pig.
And a pig.
Don't forget the pig. That pig's probably terrified as shit.
Yeah, has no idea what's going on.
Okay,
Lily, if you don't ride that pig out, like at the end in victory, we've failed.
Oh my god.
You had one job. Yeah, I guess she'd go next to Orion and try and attack the guy who's like standing.
All right, so Hyro like pushed all the way up against the wall, right? He like, starts to raise his hands as you go in there and give him the old claw.
Well, she goes up to him. I don't actually know if she does the claw just yet. I think I'm gonna hold my action, and if he does any kind of attack thing, she'll do the claw.
All right. So at that, Jack Hook's turn. He's like sort of like he's just managed to stand up now. He reaches underneath his pillow and gets out the bright axe, right? It glows bright blue and bright orange that sort of like partially illuminates this whole room.
All right.
He shouts an admonishment over at Hyro for his cowardice that he doesn't appreciate. Hasn't he been filled with the courage of the majesty of the law? Hasn't he already seen what I, Jack Hook, can do with this axe? And he attacks you, Lilia.
Okay.
Say it should be disadvantaged because he got just stabbed in the shoulder.
Oh. Okay. So this first absolutely ruthless attack will hit you with a 21.
Okay.
For 10 points of slashing damage. Oh, and it's magical, so you take the whole thing.
Okay.
And the second one also hits you with a 21 for the 10 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
So, Orion, having not completely killed this guy in the sleep, he stands up behind Lilia, starts attacking her, claiming, that his partner is a coward and he should fear the full majesty of the law as he brings it into effect.
Okay, I will use my scimitar. Oh, gosh, yeah. I'll keep using my scimitar for now in melee, and I will attack Jack Hood, and I'm gonna hopefully attempt to disarm him. I would love to take that axe from him. So that's a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that will do it.
And I will make that a disarming strike. So first it's 16 slashing damage. And he has to make a strength save or drop the axe.
All right. 7 plus 4, 11. Fails. Drops the axe.
All right. He drops the axe. As my sort of object interaction, I'd love to grab that axe off the ground.
Go for it. It feels insanely cold to the touch.
Huh. And I want to swing the axe. Can I swing the axe at him, at his head?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll with advantage automatically with the axe. And tell me if you get a 20.
Yeah. No. This would be +4, so I just got a 10.
No, that will miss.
Yeah. Dang.
That's a heavy axe.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
automatically,
I'm not used to it.
not only the weight and the absolute coldness of it, but you can tell that it wields an exceptional keening power behind it. Like, when you get a good hit with this baby.
Awesome.
All right, so Blaze, outside you see all the bark burning from that room. It gives you a great sense of satisfaction. The light illuminates, and you see all these halflings from here running towards this area. There's now a giant person in their midst.
Blaze is just at this point, he is ecstatic. He has thrown his cigar.
All right, so behind you, there are like 6 civilian halflings with the black bandanas on, like not really sure they should approach or go away, not really sure what to do about the fire. And then inside the room number 2, you can hear the pig squealing and the clatter of battle.
How close am I to room number 2?
You can take a few good steps and get in there.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get in there. Can I attack anyone?
Yes. If you want to use like a ranged attack, you could probably attack somebody.
I am going to use my Scorching Ray.
Okay, so there is Jack Hood, the target lawyer, and then there's the other man against the wall, who you now recognize as the person who took over your family's land, his brother.
Well, I'm certainly going to hurl 1 at him, but I'm going to do 2 at Jack. Because I know he is the more dangerous target.
All
Can
right.
I communicate to the people in the room that we might want to keep that guy alive and ransom him back in exchange for the land?
Blaze nods, like, nice,
Okay.
good thought.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to roll 3d20. All right, I did not roll that great, so I'm going to use 1. I'm just going to say it's going to be my last sorcerer slot and reroll 1. That's a bit better, so for a +7, so a 15,
Okay.
14, and a 13.
Those will all hit.
Woo! All right, so each of them will be hit with 2d6. So let me do that damage. So that is a 7, a 6, and a 10.
Oh,
So we're gonna say that 16 is going to go to Mr. Axeman.
Okay.
And that is all fire damage.
Fantastic. So with that 1, 2, 3, he looks like he's barely standing up anymore, right?
Mhm.
He's looking like he's basically on death's door at this point. He can't believe that it's gonna come this way so soon.
And as a bonus action, I'm just going to ignite.
All right, and so you just erupt like a Mr. Flame style. Poof.
Pretty much, I am flame on. Let's see how you like it hot.
All right, gain your inspiration. Ding. All right, so
Probably did it earlier, but I wanted to do that.
Yeah. So at this point, Hyro backs up against the wall, and he starts shouting over at you folks. You know, is that this is not what it was supposed to be like this at all? That if you would only understand, you wouldn't be so angry. He's trying to help you out. Don't you get it? Millicent, what are you gonna do?
So Millicent, her manifest is still active of vision. So she's going to cast. She's going to erupt the darkness in the same place as last time, and then go past where the the room is with all the guards. Then she's going to dispel the manifest and put a gravity manifest there and erupt it. So that means that all the halflings in there will have to do a strength save or pull to center and take 1d6 bludgeoning damage. Then at the end of the turn, all those swords on the wall will be pulled into them.
All right.
In the dark.
So there's just like chaos in this room as everything gets dark.
Absolute.
And then everything
bananas.
just bonk, 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 bonk. It's like a little pinball machine. It's going nuts in there.
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, so Lilia, as you
And I hope all that I see from the darkness is blood coming out.
So Lilia,
And then you see a new level score up.
Bing. Yeah, so you can see that there, from outside the room, that there are people coming and rushing outside the door. Lots of little halflings are running towards the fire. As you can see the lights cackling from the stone door to the outside. But right in front of you, you see Jack Hood nearly dead. And then Hyro cowering up against the wall. Trying to convince you that you just have to understand the truth. If you understood what we were doing, it would be a whole lot easier on you.
Okay.
We're trying to help you out.
So
Just going to nod to Lilia and said, "Kill him."
Okay. she's like kind of turning as if she's gonna go, to the other guy, and then she kind of gets the okay to kill him, and she's all like, okay, and then she like turns back and like claws. So yes, finally. Okay, so we got a 24 and a 23.
Yeah, that'll smack him. So go ahead and try to go ahead and smack Hero right across the face.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do the frenzy, so I'll also add an extra D4. So for the first one, it's 5, 9 plus 4, so we've got 13 for the first one. Does the frenzy add on with your bonus attack?
I think it's once a turn, but you know what? Let's just go ahead and say yes for now, because I don't feel like looking it up.
Okay.
I'm just standing in the doorway, having just expended it.
Okay, it does say once on your turn, so I'll save it for the next one. Okay, so for the second one, it's just 9.
All right, and so this dude does not have a lot of hit points, and so the two like batter. He's already starting to go limp, and he's starting to like bang against the wall and being knocked prone. He's like laying against the wall, slowly dripping down it. Jack Hood is gonna go for one last go of it. He sees Orion standing there, and he's got he's got one more trick up his sleeve. He reaches into underneath his nightshirt and pulls out a small dagger.
Zebron, as a reaction to him, can I use shield to give Orion a bonus AC?
I think shield's only for you.
Is it only for me?
Yeah, I think it's a self spell.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Okay. How about mage armor?
I think that's another one just only for yourself.
Oh no, willing creature touched.
Yeah, but I already have armor on.
Oh, you have armor.
Reaction though.
I'm fine. He hasn't hit me yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's gonna come off this dagger, go straight for the jugular with it, and misses completely. Right, the blood loss is no good. He ends up giving like a half hug, like over the shoulder, like a boxer at the end of a long fight. So Orion, with this last person right in front of you, on death's door, what are you gonna do?
I sidestep him, and so he sort of is hunched over.
Yeah.
And I want to strike with his axe.
Nice. Go ahead and roll with advantage.
And I'm gonna say, I hope this I hope the role playing and the dice are going to work together. I'm going to say, this is for the king.
No, it's a 2.
I don't know who I pissed off. I would just like to say sorry because that was 2 1s.
Oh,
It's for the king cuts his own toe.
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. Jack Hood mutters a prayer that seems to somehow spare him. It's made the kind of messes with your head for a second.
Oh, I have 2 attacks though.
Yes.
You're gonna miss but come around.
Yeah, exactly. I was just winding up.
Totally meant that.
Yeah, it was
totally.
over your head. It was just to gain momentum.
Yeah. Is this also with advantage?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
this the axe is doing that?
Yep, the axe
Okay.
automatically rolls with advantage.
Okay, that's a little better. 15.
Yep, that'll hit him.
All right. And so what's the damage on the axe?
It is 1d12 plus 7.
Ooh.
Youch.
Plus, should it be changed for my strength?
Oh yeah, it should be your strength. Your strength plus 2.
My strength is +1. Okay, so 3.
Yeah.
Okay, 12 damage.
Nice.
Yeah, do you go for the head?
Yeah.
All right,
Straight
so
for his
you
neck.
lob it right off. Boom.
Yep.
And then
It just got splashed with blood, but it's like,
yeah, in a sense of poetic justice, the one who demanded the head for the king, and who was claiming maybe he did it himself, his head too now lobs off with the same axe and rolls out the door. So Blaze, you're standing outside, or from the back to it, you can see all the halflings in the area are trying to put out the fire in the room. They've formed like a little bucket chain going from the well to here. The entire village is occupied. They seem to be perplexed that you folks are out here, but now might be a time to escape.
do I have his head? Did that roll to me?
Yes, he's at your feet. You can use your object interaction to pick it up.
I'm going to pick it up by the hair. I have become morbid. I am enthralled at this point because this is what I've been after. So I'm just going to throw that in my bag. I don't care if I get blood on my cigars at this point.
Nice.
I debate toning the fire just a little bit or increasing the fire a little bit. Let's roll a D100. Sorry, I gotta pull it up. That's a 50. I've decided not to do it because I can't decide if I want to heat it up or cool it down. So I'm just gonna hold on to it.
All right, you keep the fire exactly at its level. Like the halflings
Yep.
are trying to put it out, but you're like, no, I like the way it is.
I like that. That's a nice heat.
All right.
Remember the pig. We need
Yeah.
the pig.
So
I throw in a
Millicent,
dagger in there.
So what are you gonna do? The guards are completely discombobulated, right? They have no idea what's going on. They can't seem to get out of that room. You've stuck them in place. All the other halflings are busy putting out the fire. They're looking at you kind of strangely. Some of them yelling in your direction, but they seem to be too preoccupied with the task at hand.
Let's get the pig. Let's get
Let's get the
the
pig.
brother, and let's get out of here.
Yes.
We've got the axe as well, yeah. Oh,
I've got it,
Rain's
yeah.
still got it, yeah.
Just say as a quick
Yes.
as a quick message, just like probably bag the guy's head.
As we approach the wall, if there's any are there any guards still left on the wall?
They've all come down to help with the fire brigade effort.
Okay, I'm going to pick like one guy maybe on the fringe,
Mm-hmm.
and cast minor illusion, changing if this is possible with minor illusion. I don't know, changing his bandana color to red, and shout out Ronnie Puke, or whatever it was. It was something like that, wasn't it?
Yes.
And sort of like and then just like dart around the corner so that everyone turns and looks at it, and they think they're being under attack or something.
Yes. So you do that, and all the guards gang up on that one person, start beating him. Pop, pop, pop. He just disappears into a dog pile before your eyes. All right, so Lilia, you are right in front of Hyro, who is like half passed out, like barely conscious against the wall.
Yeah, so it sounds like I've heard that we're gonna try to leave, so I'm going to kind of like try and take him.
Yeah, so your firemen carry him past the fire.
Yeah, basically.
Sounds
I'm
good.
going to do a quick message to Lilia. It's like, get the pig.
Well, I can't do both.
So
Give him to Millicent. You take the pig.
So
We
Aurelian,
ride.
you're the last one left in the room. Everyone else has left and is running towards the wall. Are you gonna take the pig?
Sure, I'll take the pig.
Yeah.
Oh no, Aurelian, he's the last one left in the room.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah. Let's.
Yeah,
take
so
the
you
pig.
untie the pig. And you start running
I'll
up-
chop the chain or whatever it was tied up
Yeah.
with, and
At least now we have
Walk it
a
out.
leash.
All right, so as
Yeah.
as Augury predicted, all the halflings in the village are trying to preserve their sacred texts, which is being artificially heated up. The soldiers are trapped in their barracks, unable to escape the ruin of gravity. You have the head of the lawyer / possibly executioner. You have the brother of the person who Blaze has your lands right now. And you guys are all able to run off into the jungle in the middle of the night. You managed
Awesome.
to
All right,
escape-
before we leave, I'm going to roll one more D100.
Mm-hmm.
If this thing wants to work today, good lord. That's a 37. That fire going higher.
So, and as you as you run out the tunnel, the stone village, Blaze can't help himself but make the whole thing go up. You run across the jungle, back to the other village, back to the
That's
houseless
a
Jim's
beacon
ship.
now.
Houseless Jim's ship will take you past the water spout, back to the beach. Through the beach, you can swim down through the portal to the bathhouse, back to the sergeant of the Senate to claim your prize. Well done, everybody.
Dodge past that water elemental. Whoa!
At that point, I'm still on fire. We ran there. It's like that water elemental was like, it's on fire. We're gonna leave.
Yeah, great job, everyone. That's the game, folks.
All right. Thank you.
We did it.
Oh my gosh,
Thank you.
chat. Thank you so much to everyone for sticking around this long. The rest of the episodes are on my $1 Patreon, link in the description. If you have any thoughts on the episode, do the thing. Let me know in the comments below.